Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Mischief. We are live.
You know, if somebody works
today
for
we'll be doing
Mischief,
something a bit
I'm
different.
sure they can tell us exactly what kind of thing we could do
a Spaces
that's capable with
Actually, I
the
join the Spaces
technology
every week.
because
Happens just this time.
you
Every
know,
single
I've been
Thursday
studying
evening,
Sui
Western
network
time, or for
for
me it's
like
Friday
8
morning.
months straight, and I
we
still
talk about everything.
there's
Oh,
so much
Richie's
to
live.
learn.
Richie's live.
That's right. So it's
Oh,
called Sui Accelerator. I'll have the link in the description of this video.
let me check it out. Put it on the Jumbotron
join
link.
and find out more about it. And most importantly, you're live. So if you are here and we're coming across loud and clear, please let me know.
Potato also reached out to us, just so you know.
We want to be sure about that.
Potato.
As well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they were at
hey guys, welcome back
last
to
week's
Crypto
space.
Mischief. We are live.
You know, that'd be awesome to do something to them because that's like the most useful app as far as.
You're a big fan of the Potato, and you can see all your different wallets in one spot, and you watch other people's wallets and all kinds of cool stuff, right?
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
like we're talking to them right now, hoping to like come to some sort of partnership and agreement. So that's kind of in the works.
Richie, so you're not coming through on X.
What do you mean? What do you mean not coming through?
Now I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I was muted.
It looked like you were. Oh, okay, okay.
No problem. Yeah,
it looked like you were talking on the video. Okay, so right on. We're good then.
Yeah, I think so. Just trying to check two things. Think we're good.
Wow, so you can like show us stuff on your screen too. This is cool.
Yeah, as long as the audio is coming across clear, because I'm using OBS, which can be a bit weird.
No, it sounds perfect.
Nice. William's there. Let me chat to some guys and check the levels. I'll be back in the chat soon. You guys just take it away.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow, that's cool, guys. So I mean, we'll be able to pull up like different projects on his screen. I don't know if you guys are looking at it too, but that's pretty cool because you can see the live space and the stuff in the background. That's pretty cool. And like I was saying, when I get that upgraded computer that I want to get with the NFT pass, I want to be able to stream on Kick and Twitch and even Accelerator YouTube channel. So we'll be live and on multiple platforms at the same time.
DJen, do you want to do your quick 5-minute Sui breakdown for all the YouTube listeners of like why Sui's awesome and object mobility and all that cool stuff you talk about?
Yeah,
it's 342. Quickly would be.
I just want to try and get this post on the Jumbotron real quick.
Pepe, is it late there or?
Oh yeah, it's 3:20 a.m.
Okay, do you want to talk and like say what you want to say? So then, like,
no, I'm good. I'm good.
If you need
anyone that's you know, needing to go quick sooner than later, you know, go for it.
No, good. I'm kind of feeling in right now.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Pepe's been doing really well lately. They're holding strong. They've had a couple really good days of pumping. They've got their new NFTs coming out soon. They've got their OG set out already. You can mint those up. I think there's a couple left, and their new ones are looking unreal. They're a battle-hardened token that's going to be just huge in the next wave here. So when everyone's coming to Sui, they're going to see a Pepe and see how hard the community's been working. There's so many good people there. And it's going to be a real staple.
6.5 months in.
Yeah, I've been talking to Matsumoto for so long.
And Matsumoto, stand-up guy, and DJen, you like him too. Everyone does. He's a good dude.
Is Whaleboy still working with you guys that closely, or is he doing his own thing? He's still
every
there?
day.
Right on.
Yeah, we're in talks every day. Yeah, and I remember when we had those voice messages back and forth. That was cool. It was
Yeah, well,
quite
it's
neat.
because you know, I know you made me admin to help out or whatever, but I always seen when I went in there, you guys had such a solid operation going on. You didn't really
Oh
need
yeah.
any assistance, so I just come in there and drop some alpha that I heard every once in a while and make a meme on the spot. You had a really cool in Telegram meme creator,
Oh
and I've
yeah,
seen other
definitely.
ones, but your guys's was pretty like high definition. It was much more better detail than other Telegram
Y-
meme
Yeah,
creators
we
I've
we
seen.
have some awesome community members cranking that thing to its limits. It's yeah, we made over 2.5K memes so far. So it's yeah.
And what is the API power behind that? Is that Chat
It's
GPT?
one GPU, that's all I know. I'm not too sure about the tech behind
So
it.
okay, so he's running it locally. That's
Yeah, yeah,
pretty
yeah.
powerful.
He
That's
yes, yes.
awesome. It definitely
He
takes a lot
also
of
offers
power.
video. I think I sent you the contact
Yeah,
already.
I still have them. I've kind of I'm learning how to do all that stuff on my own, I think,
Sure, sure.
because I have such computer skills and stuff that you know
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
rather I'd rather learn how to do it myself.
if you ask him for some advice, I'm pretty sure he
Oh,
will
for sure.
love to give you some hints.
Yeah, if it's still the same guy that you sent me his contact like months back, I still have it saved for sure.
Definitely. That's cool.
And Sui, my goodness, you guys, they're at base camp. So, I mean, so I heard and seen they have a partnership with MasterCard. That's absolutely huge. I don't know all the details on that yet.
I saw that clip.
Um,
This guy posted something about MasterCard and payments. That's going to be huge for Sui.
and then, like you said, Denny, they have Pokemon cards or something with
It's
Pokemon they're
getting
gonna do.
close. Like if that's gonna print so much money, I mean, Sui in the future, just all the loot boxes and auction worlds and microtransactions are all going to exist on Sui, and all it's going to take is one Pokemon or a Magic the Gathering or a Grand Theft Auto to bring their loot boxes to Sui, and then that's going to just be enormous. And then you'll be able to have NFTs of all the cool Warcraft loot you have, and you can trade it for real world money and all kinds of cool stuff in the future.
Bro, what they're doing, Missing Labs, they want to be like the dominant blockchain in every category. GameFi, TradeFi, meme coin fi, everything fi. Like Sui
It's
is a
it's gonna be
computer.
huge.
Like even if you guys don't have or plan on getting a Swarm network license, I recorded like the first 20 minutes of his live space with Swarm Network of Costas just talking about Sui. And he talks about it on a totally different technical level than Adoni does because he's a cryptographer and that's actually stuff that I know myself. So I understood everything he was talking about and it's like so amazing. He said he was able to control his coffee maker through the Sui blockchain. He even had a video of it. If you go to his page, you can see it says 3 coffees, no lunch, and they're on location in Dubai for their base camp. And he actually makes a cup of coffee through the Sui blockchain somehow. I don't know exactly how that happened, but it was a pretty wild video. I think I'll look for that to put on the Jumbotron too.
That's really cool. That's like the Internet of Things and like automation and home automation, and you could have all your lights and everything scheduled and all data stored on the blockchain and just do all kinds of incredible home.
Yeah, that white paper that he posted recently, instead of the Internet of Things, he called it the everything of things.
Yeah,
Like that's what point we're at now with Sui, is that it's the everything of things. Sui is like a computer, and with Walrus storage, you can store things on the blockchain. You can even host a website on the blockchain. This enables other companies and projects to create things on Sui that is just not even possible on other blockchains. Like this is what he was talking about with Swarm Network. Because these autonomous entities, they need to be able to access data lightning fast and on chain. And the fact that it's object-centric model, there's no bottleneck. So these things can operate just immediately. They can share information, they can access information, remember information. It's completely just next level technology.
I liked when you were explaining that it could like replace like a Google Drives, and then all of your data is stored on the blockchain and fluid and accessible at all times. And you could even have maybe like a local storage server, but on the blockchain. There's all kinds of crazy ideas.
Well, yeah. So if you guys wanted to hear the little breakdown about Sui, is most blockchains are account based, where each block has to fill completely before it can be finalized. And that's where the bottleneck occurs and gas prices go up, because they all have to be executed in order. Where with Sui, everything is seen as an object. And that's not just a feature of the Move programming language. That's something that Miston Labs added specifically for Sui. So like Aptos, they don't have an object model blockchain. They use Move, which is secure and somewhat fast, but it's still not object-centric. And it's that particular upgrade that they did, and they call it Sui Move. Even Costas called it that the other day, because that's what gave it its object-centric model. That's what enables its dynamic NFTs, like the one that comes with the Sui Play that just sold out yesterday. There's no more available on pre-sale. And so you can have properties. Your NFT can also own its own objects. So that's why even if it's been finalized, it's still seen as an object that's, you can have properties change. So it can keep track of in-game currency, armor, weapons, skins, you name it. Anything else that you'd want to save in a game, you can save on your NFT for your Sui Play.
That's unreal. So you could have a character which is represented by an NFT, and then they could own other objects, all kinds of in-game, whatever, land, weapons, gold, all kinds of stuff, and that could come and go, and you could trade that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so you'd have your base NFT that's like this is your account, like your Sui Play account, and then that NFT can have an object of this game, like another object that's a game, and that object can have its own objects of the things related to that game only. So it can be layered like that even.
It's pretty smart. Like what they're doing is making people who don't even know they're using the blockchain use the blockchain and use Sui. Like that's a huge thing. Very smart.
Exactly.
The golden ticket right there. That's cool.
And I asked Adoni in a live space one time, because, you know, being in crypto for quite a while, compared to most users on this network, we're told like you always use a seed phrase to make your wallet address. You don't just use your email. But Adoni said they specifically worked on what they call ZK login, where you can make it with a Google account with the email address and password, and it's just as safe. And he said there's even OG cryptocurrency traders that use ZK login instead of the seed phrase, because he said something that made sense is you're supposed to keep your email address secure anyways. That's your access point. If you forget your password to whatever else, it's always you reset it with your email address, right? So as long as you use two-factor authentication on your email and you guard that, then you're good and no one can get into your wallet. And also there's a way to recover it if you don't remember your seed phrase or deleted the app or something. I still prefer to use seed phrases just because it's so baked into how I think, but I still think that's a great option for, like you said, when he was talking to me, there's not going to be millions of gamers ready to play a game that's going to want to learn how a seed phrase works if they've never used cryptocurrency. So they're trying to make it the onboard process so easy and simple. Yeah, like you said, they're not even going to know they're using the Sui blockchain. They just have some way to save their game data on the internet. That's probably how they'll think about it. So that's really cool that they're really forward thinking about all these things that they can anticipate, and adding the Walrus protocol. That's what you were talking about, Denny, when it comes to online storage. And there's already services like Tusky that's active right now. I think they even have a free tier. So you can actually store data on the blockchain, and it's unlimited storage. You can, it goes forever, basically. I mean, it's not like infinite, but you can store as much as you want. You can even host websites, and say you're an artist and you want to sell your music. You can sell access to it by giving people access to your music on the blockchain. So you don't have to use like iTunes or YouTube Music or wherever a place sells music. You can be your own sale. You can cut out the middleman, because everything Sui does is about decentralization, which I'm always a huge fan of. So I really like everything that Sui's doing and Mistin Labs is doing. They already know they're pretty much going to take over every industry, gaming, TradeFi, because this is the only place that it's possible. And wow, it went up in the last 7 days. It's up 50%. Last I checked, but maybe it went down a little bit. I have to go back to the chart, but it's just been taking off. And then whenever the actual Sui coin goes up, all the coins on Sui go up also, because I checked like every single coin in the accelerator program was up by huge percentages. Like the Suicide Social Club Mobster was up 65%, I think.
Yeah, it's gone up. Yeah, I think it's gone up a bit more now. Like it's been hot. The market's been hot. Like look at Pepe too. But yeah, like Suicide, I'm in there from day one. So I've been through the whole ride, but it's nice to see the market coming back right now. And I put on, like, we just had art kind of released to us. It's not the final drawings for the mutants, but I put it on the Jumbotron up there. So that's kind of like our next NFT piece, and that, you connect that and the symbiote, your OG NFT and the symbiote, and you get a mutated version. So it's going to be pretty neat. Yeah, but it's
I've
nice
seen
to see
some of the previews
ecosystem.
I've seen some of the previews of those mutant NFTs of the mobsters. Those are really cool. And even Sui Trump went from 200,000 market cap to 300,000, I believe.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and what's Pepe at too?
Sorry.
Yeah, Richie, have you noticed the market cap?
Well, it's liquidity based. also. So for example, so Sui's done a 50% move, I believe, something like that, right? So any coin which is tied in the majority of its liquidity is with Sui token, then it's, that old saying that, what is it, a raising tide rises all ships, something like that. So liquidity-based, growth essentially just means that as Sui gains more dollar value, all coins paired with Sui in liquidity are going to rise. Then if you take on top of that people finding Sui tokens, altcoins, any kind of altcoin on Sui that they want to buy at the same time, then of course you're going to see even higher gains than just because you could have a token, right? Pair it with Sui, right? Like last week, and no one's bought or sold it at all, but it would go up almost exactly how much Sui has gone up in market cap, just for the sheer fact.
Oh wow!
But it would be a little bit less, of course, because one asset is not growing as fast as Sui, right? But what we're seeing with a lot of especially the Sui Accelerator altcoins, actually, is they're either performing with Sui or outperforming Sui because they have smaller market caps. It's quite easy to pump them from the floor, get multiple X's. Then you can take other projects, like I was just looking on Bubble. There's some projects which are outperforming Sui coin massively, right? Which is great to see. Like, what is it, like Suicide today? Up 85%, right? Liquidity 12,000, which means with liquidity of $12,000 on Bubble, it might be wrong though, I'm not sure, but that means it's there's pumponomics there. Like the chances of being able to see this do multiple more X's are very large, of course, because it's in comparison to the Sui that it's paired with, it's uneven. So that's great to see. And yeah, there's loads of tokens just doing very well in this week because of that reason. Liquidity based pumping, essentially.
And you said, I know we have a liquidity pool with Move, and then on Cetus, that is like almost just as big. And you said that Bubble actually combined the two of them.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
which is something that a lot of trackers don't even do.
Yeah, I asked them to do it, actually. They did it in like 5 minutes, which is great. Bubble were great. Yeah, because it's like with I was looking at Pepe on Sui actually as well, because we were talking about, must have been 2 weeks ago, and Pepe on Sui was around about $200,000 market cap. Now it's almost up to $500,000 market cap, and this is because not only because Sui has gone up in value, but because if you take it from you're an investor and you realize your Sui is now worth 50% more in dollar value than it was 2 weeks ago. Therefore, the natural thing that a lot of investors do would be sell some of their Sui, which is now worth more in dollar value, and risk it into smaller cap alts. It's what you're seeing there with Pepe on Sui, that some were trading off their Sui token to then buy Pepe on Sui or buy any altcoin. Also, all the stable coins which have been moving into Sui over the past couple months look like they're being deployed now, right? Because there's been record numbers of stable coins coming into Sui, more than any other network. Possibly Sonic is a little bit more, and it just means there's huge investors coming in who are waiting for that signal, that buy signal, to deploy their USDC, their USDT into Sui coins. It looks like that's taking place now. Very bullish. It's very nice.
Yeah, if you watch the Paul Barron YouTube channel, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a big fan of Sui, and he seems pretty pro crypto for like what Trump is doing and stuff, and he does cover all kinds of different cryptos, but it seems like he's pretty heavily favored to Sui. And he was just talking about that the other day. The amount of stable coins coming into Sui is massive, absolutely massive. And it's like everybody knows what's coming with this network, and they're getting ready to really invest, because there's so many companies. Like if you follow Adani and just watch his posts, he doesn't really make them like a big deal, but they are, like, if you pay attention. Like, he's like, oh yeah, there just happens to be like another 200 million invested from companies in this network building on here. Like with Seal, they just announced a partnership. They're in Dubai. Of the guy that's the CEO of Seal talking about, oh, I was so glad somebody showed me about the Sui blockchain. We can do all these things now that weren't available before. And you keep seeing it every time. So we're definitely in the right place. It's still super early. And one thing I've noticed, like I share that Murad 2049 video where he talks about meme coin psychology and what makes it work. The coins like Doge and Shiba Inu, none of those coins like went to their levels and mooned like in the first month. They were around for like Doge more than a year and like at least 8-9 months. So the projects that have been around that have been keeping going and the community will buy the dips, they'll keep pushing forward. Those are the coins that have the ability to reach those kind of levels, which is, you know, a lot of our projects started even last year. So that's what I picture happening, you know, for at least hopefully more than one of us, but at least one of the projects that is in the accelerator program. I know Richie's capable of doing it. I know, you know, Pepe with its Pepe's huge on the internet, you know, and I believe they have the best Sui Pepe coin, been around for a long time. So it's really cool that we're all working together. Plus Pumpkin Token, I see Chad's here. You know, definitely come and speak if you'd like, Chad. But it's been cool seeing the stuff that Tyler Simpson's doing because you can tell he's definitely a really gifted individual, and he hasn't spoke on Spaces yet about what he's doing because from what I tell from like what Uber told me is he wants to have everything completed, like what he's doing with the vaults and basically have it all completely working and like he wants it. And then he said he's going to do a space eventually. But for now, Marcus Aurelius, he's real educated on the project. And Chad there, he's always in the Telegram as well. I'm not sure if he speaks on the project or if he's tuned in right now, but you know, I'd love to hear from somebody from Pumpkin, especially after they made their announcement for the partnership.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out Pumpkin yet, you need to do that. Their bots
Richie,
are gonna be...
did you see that the Quant Fin video that I sent you?
Oh, I didn't watch it yet, actually. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Now we're here.
Well, no, I was hoping you would mess with it because you know that stuff's like a little too much for me. But it was because they have one service that's you need at least 500,000 tokens to use, and then another one you need 2 million tokens to use called QuantFin. And that was the video that had the trades happening of the guy that just left it on overnight, and it was just making pure profit moves while he was sleeping, and he was recording it. So
sounds
pretty
good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was working with the Pumpkin one, but I had a bit of trouble trying to get it set up how I like. It's quite complex. So then I stopped, and then I got distracted, and I need to look back at it, actually.
Sorry, that's my bad. I was trying to bring someone up, so...
No problem. Yeah, so I got distracted, and then I started doing something else. But is the Quant one is similar? It's like a automatic trading bot.
How's it going, everybody?
Howdy.
Good, how are you?
Pork Chop Express here. Coming to tell you what you need to know. What you got, any questions? I got you.
Nice.
So, as of
Yeah, I
this
was just
moment.
gonna say that's the guy that made the video. I noticed his avatar. You made the video where it was going overnight. I was just talking about that video with Richie. So yeah, I saw the results of what you did. You know, so what we're using QuantFin. If you could talk
Yeah,
about that, it'd be awesome.
yeah, that's actually the perpetual futures dashboard and also market making strategies involved in that one. It's a little more intricate and entailed than um, the DEX algo is more for spot and some arbitrage between DEXs. There's some arbitrage as well on the QuantFin, but it's for other purposes of arbitrage. And the videos you see are basically me leverage trading Sui or Walrus. And I do one every night. Like I'll start one kind of before I turn in for the night. And then I'll wake up the next day and just let it run. And then I'll kill it after about 9 or 12 hours or something and compress it, you know, for everyone to check it out. But yeah, it works all day, all the time. And as long as you have good risk management and you're not greedy and you do without leverage too much, you keep it low, you can stay consistent and compound. Right.
Could you
So
post that video on the Jumbotron? Do you know how to do that? Or if you could make it your most recent post, I can do it for you.
it's my pin tweet.
Yeah, I'm watching it
Okay,
right
yeah.
now.
You go see. I think they updated it. You click the thing and then bam, it's up there.
Yeah, you just click the up arrow to share, and then if you're a speaker on a space, it'll be one of the top options.
Yeah, it's there.
Right on. Yeah, everyone check out that video. It's pretty awesome. And you said that's like 8 hours compressed in like a minute video?
Like 35 seconds.
35
about
seconds.
9 hours. Yeah.
Nice.
So basically, you know, if you're not watching all day on the screen, then you don't see that. So when you record it and you play it back faster, you can see all the work it does while you're sleeping. Right. So, and while you're awake and while you're running errands and while you're doing other things. So, I mean, what Tyler's built here, you know, with no investment money and for free and to offer to everyone with no fees is a golden goose. Most people never got any of this stuff unless they knew a quant who was a brokerage, who had a brokerage table on a tier 1 exchange, who was a market maker who pushed mad volume through their accounts so they can get a good tier rating and VIP status. Then you can run high frequency trading, you can do cross margin, you can do the leverage, you can do the arbitrage, you can do the market making, the time-based buys, you can go through spot dexes, centralized exchanges, arbing, all the different spots. What he's brought here is a whole market making brokerage table. So most people don't even understand what that means because they've never had access to anything of that nature. But you can take little aspects of it, you know, like time-based buys or MFIRSI, and you can run those spot, you know, on whatever ticker you choose, Sui, D, whatever. And at that point, you can either add to the chart via liquidity via the transaction, right? Not LP, but running transactions through the chart, which helps to smooth the chart and make things nice and tradable. And there's always some transactions flowing. So it kind of keeps it less wicky and stuff like that. Also,
Yeah, I've been
you know,
hanging out in the Telegram and seeing what he's doing is he's constantly making adjustments and it's really wild.
yeah, the
So
whole point is
how
to stay.
associated with you are with the project? Like, are you just like an advanced user that can demonstrate what he's doing, or?
I'm really close friends with Tyler. We've known each other for years, and he's managed several of my accounts on the centralized exchange. We met before that, so we've known each other quite some time. We're very good friends, and he knows what I don't, and I know some things he don't, so we work well together.
Yeah, that's how I actually came across him. Is he was posting to Miston Labs like months ago about, you know, what's up with the not being recognized in the wallet, And I said, yeah, a project that I work with closely, Sui Trump with Richie, we're not recognized either. We've had the price in the wallet for the longest time, but not recognized. So we were both I reposted what he posted, and because Sui Trump and Pumpkin Token, they both launched in October of last year, like around the same time. So I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Agent S was put as recognized, and they did some sort of rug pull or something really shady on their entire community. But from what I've heard, they're going to be doing away with that really soon, as far as the recognized, not recognized. And actually having a price in the wallet means more than having it be recognized or unrecognized, because that's the blockchain itself. So you're being recognized by what matters, the blockchain, not the wallet. Because like Sui Trump, you can go into Phantom Wallet and you can swap right inside of Phantom. It shows up as recognized, and it's not even the official Sui wallet, and it's recognized. So I think Mist and Labs really needs to step up their game a bit with their wallet app. But besides that, the technology is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I understand the whole process of that wallet and what it was really based for and what it was used for. It was kind of like a template for other people to see what is kind of needed on Sui. And it was for people to build off of, to say, okay, this is what they kind of want, and these are kind of the necessary template, for building a new wallet. And then people were able to build wallets on Sui based on that. All right. So it was kind of more one RPC, it was just a basic, template. But it's,
Well, I'd love to ask you then, which wallet do you recommend?
I use Nightly.
Nightly. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good wallet. You can go through all your, all your DeFi stuffs in there, and and then you can always throw that on Potato, which is awesome. Because that.
Oh, that's my favorite app ever. Potato was on. He was on last Thursday's Sui Builders with us. He actually stopped by, and I told him he has the Swiss Army knife of Sui, and he said he's going to roll with it. I said, go ahead and take it. You can copyright it, keep it, because I love your application. Because having so many wallets and been in this network, since last October, it's just a mess of wallets that I have. I probably have at least like 15 or 20 wallets for different purposes. And when I first plugged in Potato, my wallets, I found $200 worth of a coin that I didn't even remember that I had. And if it wasn't for Potato, I probably never would have even saw it again. So
yeah,
it's really amazing.
Sui's building some cool shit, man. There's some great apps on here, and there's there's good people building and stuff like that's going on. It's an interesting ecosystem, to be able to bring high frequency trading over to a blockchain, to be able to that can handle it first and foremost, and that's affordable enough to be able to to accommodate all the different tokens and the needs for those people, and to be able to give sort of a decentralized manner to market making. Because when you launch a project, it's one thing, but you all are going to look at each other and say, wait a minute, we forgot about the financial layer on top of this project. How are we going to deal with the chart? You can't just throw it out there and say, here it is, and people traders got to see a chart that is tradable. So market making is part of it. It happens in TradFi too. It's the same thing. And you're going to ask who's going to market make it. And if you're given over responsibilities to people you don't know to, market make your chart, and that's, a generalized term. There's very simple strategies to that anyone can do. And your own little team can get together and say, you take care of this part, you take care of this part, and I'll take care of that part, and you all have your part in it. And you do the thing. And market making is not a game of profit. It's a game of very tight profit margins, staying very sticky to price action, making sure that everything runs effectively and efficiently without having to feed it. And it's, it's a way to keep things moving. So some market makers are a little bit more extractive, and, I mean, there's a big one we all know, Wintermute. It's real tough to work with them if you're a project. You hire them and you better bring the volume, Because if you only have them sitting there trading with themselves, they'll farm it down. It's just the way it goes. And you will pay them for the privilege. So, you know, sometimes it's better as a small project to do it yourselves, and all the tools are here to do it, and there's no fees, and you don't have to like deposit funds into some other wallet that you don't know. It's your own custodial wallets. It's your own custodial account at Bluefin with your own custodial wallet. The only thing you do, and you have to, with every algorithm you use or every trading bot you use, whether it's on a centralized exchange or on a DEX, you have either got to give up your API or you got to give up your private key for your trading wallet. And that goes directly into the script and it is encrypted. Therefore, no one can hack it. So the same thing happens on centralized exchanges. Whenever you're market making and doing all the things that everyone does in this market, you have got to plug in your API for your account or your table. It has to
100%.
happen. So there's no way around that, and there's no silver bullet for it. And anyone that says there is lying to you. Maybe there will be in the future, and that's great. But right now, that's not the industry standard, and it's not really the only way to do it. And when you're using your own custodial wallet, which most bots don't let you do, I mean, when you go to Photon, what's it do? It starts a wallet for you. It generates the private key. Where does it go? Who stores it? Whenever you start one on Telegram, where does it go? Who stores it? They're all custodial wallets. This one is yours. And it's triple encrypted on the back end. And it's randomized for every single private key. So it's never encrypted the same way.
Right. I've heard Marcus explain it on previous spaces about how secure it is. And, you know, there's a simple solution to that. Just make a new wallet. You can make a new Sui wallet in like 5 seconds. So, you know, just make a new wallet, put what you want to trade in there, and then use that to trade with.
And that's the basic rule of it. And it's the same thing on a centralized exchange. That's why there's sub accounts. You know,
exactly.
I've got a couple questions about the DEX algo actually. So I've managed to, I bought the pumpkin token. I got into the UI. I put in my phrase. So it's all working in that end. And I wanted to set up a pair with Sui and Walrus, right? So I was running
it. You put, just real quick, I'm sorry to overrupt, but you said phrase, private key, right?
Yeah, key, that's
not
right. Yeah.
Passphrase.
Yeah, the key.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was working, but I put it in Martingale, and then I noticed what happened eventually was that the Sui was over time swapped into Walrus, which is good. I was pretty happy with that. Then I thought, okay, I want to try and get something set up, which is essentially buying and selling the Walrus for profit, essentially, is what I would like to try and get achieved. But so far, not been able to get it set up. But I'm guessing that's using the possibly machine learning.
Yeah, any of the ones like time-based buy or, you know, where you set it for minute intervals. So 60 minutes, 120 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
And it'll buy every 10 minutes. And then you click the little DCA mode button.
Okay.
And for any indicator, the DCA mode button at the top, not the one by Martingale.
Yeah.
The one at the top, that one will group all of your individual purchases throughout that dip or whatever, and it'll make a median average buy-in price. And then what it'll do is sell all of the entries you made for that go. Once it hits take profits, it'll sell all those entries in one shot.
Okay. And then with the machine learning, it has the strategy, then indicator preset. But I keep trying to put it to the ML 1 million full, but then I save. But when I come back, it's gone straight back to go to select preset. So I'm not sure if that's just, or, you know, you can put it to market maker or the ML 1 million full. But it never seems to stay on that one. Is that just...
There's a couple redundancies that we're working on inside the DEX algo that aren't needed necessarily. So
okay, cool.
Down below Martingale, you'll see the other the time frame for your resolution and look back. And right there you can set it to 1 minute full, right? Or 3 minute full or something like that. And machine learning, mostly with machine learning, it'll spam the buys pretty quickly whenever you hit a long signal. So basically it sees the oversold area and it catches a long signal and it'll start purchasing. And you might get a spam of 7 or 8 buys within that, you know, couple minutes of candles.
Okay, cool.
So, you know, that can be something that happens. And as long as you stay sticky to price action, so you're not taking too much profit, because, you know, you got to read the chart and make sure even as it's dropping, say 8 or 10%, you're getting a pop here and there that goes 4 or 5%, and then it'll continue down. At least you can get out of that at like a 1.5% take profit. So that the bot's continually buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling all the way down. And then once you see maybe a recovery, you can go back into the dashboard and you can say, I want my take profit set to 5% now. And then just save it, and it'll stop. It'll not stop, but it'll pause the bot and it'll rewrite the new configuration and it'll start the bot automatically.
Okay, cool. Right, fixed it. Started it up again. Let's see how it does. Good. Yeah, that was the one thing. Because like one, the one.
Do you still have MF, or do you still have Martingale
on? No, I turned it off.
Okay, good. So yeah. DCA mode and Martingale together don't function at the moment. That's another redundancy we're trying to fix. So they kind of conflict with each other because they both kind of work off the same idea.
Yeah.
So to Martingale is a DCA, and then when you click DCA on, like, say you want MFI, RSI, and you want Martingale going, we're going to get that to where we can put that strategy in one wallet instead of having to run 2 different wallets to be able to get Martingale and get like a bundled MFI, RSI, or a machine learning or something.
Yeah, the one thing I'd say about
you kind of want that bundle, right?
That's
kind of nice.
The one thing I'd say about the user experience of using it is that the one thing I think is missing is, for example, say someone comes into it and they hover over machine learning or they hover over DCA mode, just to have a tooltip appear, which gives a half a sentence quick explanation of what is happening, would be pretty useful.
We've talked about that.
Might get cluttery though.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, because it's a lot.
Yeah, instead of having to go read the docs, right?
Yeah,
just a quick little.
Yeah. Some way of like pointing to, or it would be because I was thinking more like how to, because I covered this on my YouTube channel actually, but and I had a couple of people asking me, okay, so what should I set it up as? I was like, well, that's your own, that's up to you, what you want. And they're like, is there not just like a, set it and go? I was like, well, there's not, but. So another thing that would be quite cool would be like 3 or 4 different setups. So like, okay, this is a moderate setup. This is a risky setup. This would be a patient setup. These kind of things might be quite handy as well.
Yeah, we have that on the QuantFin. So for the perpetual futures, you'll see some easy buttons in there.
Okay.
And it'll be moderate. It'll actually be Seifu, and then moderate, and then aggressive, and then there'll be Yacht Today.
Cool.
That one's very aggressive.
Yacht
That's
Today.
The one you always see me. I record that one. That's what I run. I run Yacht Today at 3x.
And how many yachts do you have? A yacht a day keeps the bank away.
I mean, I'm at 5% a day right now, so that's
nice.
Pretty absurd.
Compounded, that's like crazy.
Pork Cup, I'm not sure when you joined, but we're live on his YouTube channel right now. I posted it on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Mischief.
Yeah, I'm looking.
We're actually live on X and on his channel right now at the same time. If you go to the link on the Jumbotron, you can actually see the space. So we're on Crypto Mischief and X.
Nice. I'd go, but it'd probably rug my Twitter.
Yeah, check it out after. You don't want to mess it up.
But then you said
have like a separate device.
You said you're using.
It is recorded.
You said you're using the perpetual. So is that something that's not released yet, or am I missing it?
Oh no, it's released.
Where did I find it? I see the Saquant Dex algo, and then.
That's what I sent you in the Telegram, Richie.
Also, it's a different. It's not on the Pumpkin site, or it is.
It's a different. It's a different thing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a different dashboard.
Okay.
You have to have 2 million pumpkin to get into that one.
Ah, yep. I see what you're doing now.
I'd start a brand new fresh wallet.
Cool.
And then you log into that one, right? And basically, you would want to start up a account on Bluefin with the wallet. right?
Cool.
And you sign in and you do the thing, you click on perpetuals, and then it'll say continue to sign in. And you go on to basically you're signing the terms of services for Bluefin. And then that allows your wallet to trade. At that point, you want a stable wrapped USDC ETH, and then that you transfer to your margin account on Bluefin.
Okay.
And then you go to the dashboard and set up your strategy.
Oh, well, I'm going to try that today then. Because yeah, I like trading futures actually, but I'm not the best at it. I'm too emotional.
Well,
or impatient, possibly.
Look at my video. This makes it pretty easy.
Cool. Okay, thanks for
Richie. I sent you the
thanks for answering all the questions.
information.
Nice.
It's a completely different system, and it looks way smoother. And I sent you the link to his video, and it should be on the Jumbotron where he recorded it over 9 hours in like 35 seconds, and it's just like cashing in profit constantly.
Yeah, you sent me a lot of x.com links, but I don't see a like a website address.
Well, it's on the Jumbotron from Pork Chop. He put it on the Jumbotron of his video.
It's also my pin tweet. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so
as far as accessing the quant fin, where do you go to access how you actually traded on it?
Well, my question is where's the site? Yeah.
The link is on the pumpkintoken.org.
Okay, cool. Let me get it. Da-na-na-na. Pumpkin.
So you can just go to the website pumpkintoken.org in your browser.
Yeah, sorry, it's the pumpkin token.
Oh, the pumpkin token. Okay.
Yeah, I'm there. I don't see it though. What's it called? Nexa? No. No.
Let me look. He did just update the site.
So
check.
Let me see. Dun-dun-dun. We'll find it. We'll get there.
I did notice that Zabi.Sui and Ramil have been up for a while. I didn't know if they had questions or...
Possibly.
Or it's not on the website.
Oh, there. I think I found it. Oh, no. It's back to DexAlgo 2. Interesting.
Yeah, those are going to be the vaults.
Oh. Well, anyway, so it's it's awesome.
Go ahead.
It's awesome. Like this is we can come across all sorts of projects on Sui all the time, but like this is nothing that I've ever seen on Sui, and rarely ever seen even on EVM. What is available for, like, even using the one that we were talking about before, not the perpetual one, the one that I'm just covering now. What was it, like $50 of Pumpkin token, roughly? I think before Pumpkin went up after I bought it a lot, but it was like $50, and then you get the, this available, and is beautiful, It's exactly what projects should be thinking about doing, like, okay, you take a little bit of our token, invest into our community, and then we offer you this, because the amount of work that must have gone into this is unbelievable.
Oh yeah, a lot of work. And he's been doing this for years, so it's been a lot of work over years. But I forgot what you just said.
And Pork Chop, what really got me on it is Uber Geek, the guy that does all like the super high quality, big ticket projects, live spaces for Sui. He said to me that he trusts what Tyler's doing more than the entire Sui network. And that right there was like, okay, this is serious. And that's why I've been lurking in the Pumpkin token Telegram for months because of him saying that, because I knew for sure that Tyler definitely had some skill for someone like Uber, because we've actually had a private Telegram call for like an hour and a half where we doxed to each other, because I plan on having some developers talk on his space. And for him to say that he trusts Tyler more than he trusts the entire Sui network, I was like, wow, that's definitely saying something. So that's why I have been a fan of Pumpkin token for the longest time, because I respect Uber a lot. I'm sure you guys all know who he is. And, you know, it was one of his spaces where I got to speak with Adani from Sui Network. So I'm really glad that they're on board with the Sui Accelerator program.
Yeah, Uber's a really good guy. He knows what he's looking at too, you know.
Yeah, I'm actually using, like, I have him tell me, like, what are the projects that are, you know, worth looking into, because he talks to so many. And, you know, he's partnered with Full Sail. He's one of their ambassadors, and he's also talking about Lotus. There's so many heavy hitters coming in to this network. And I don't know if you were on the space earlier, but I highly recommend you check out the live space that Swarm Network did with Costas Crypto, the lead cryptographer from Miston, because what he talked about and what's possible is pretty wild. And Swarm Network, they're an autonomous agent swarm. They raised $3 million in their seed funding round, and they actually were given a grant from Google. And there's a program called Sui Accelerator, where there was 630 plus applications, and only 6 were chosen. One of them was Swarm Network, and at the end of the space, Costas said that his number one pick, even out of all 6, was Swarm Network, and that was pretty cool. And that space is recorded, but you'd have to go to the Swarm Network page to see it because they were the hosts. It's at Get Swarmed. But if you wanted to hear some more technical speak from one of the developers, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I just sent a post. I think at the bottom of the room there's just a plus symbol, but it's got the link for the QuantFin. It's called QuantFin. It's QUANTFIN .dexalgo.org, and that's the dashboard
If it's
to
on
get
your
into there. And
if it's on your profile, I can put it on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, let me go look here. I just sent it, so yeah.
Nope. We dropped off. Coming back.
Okay, 1 second.
So the token, pumpkin token, you know, it's more of a key. You know, it's not. It actually.
There you go. It's on the Jumbotron
this.
now. The address is on the Jumbotron, Richie, if you haven't found it yet.
Yeah. And really, it gets you into the tech. It unlocks the ability for you to access these tools. The tools themselves inside are the trades you make. There's no fees, so this isn't there. And if you go to any other, you say trading bot like a Telegram bot or Photon or any of those things or BullX, it's all fees. Every trade is a fee. So there's always like, what's the incentive? And Tyler, the incentive is to build this thing and give everybody a hand up and the ability to win. Right? You're talking about 4% of the people extract the liquidity from the space all the time. Most traders lose. So it kind of maybe gives people a bigger stick to walk around with so that they can, you know,
So
find a way to be consistent.
Let me ask to be clear, so just having the pumpkin token gives you full access and there's no fees after that as long as you hold the token?
That's correct. And if
Wow,
you're done and you don't want to do it anymore, you go back and you can sell it right back to the LP if you don't want to hold it. And the LP is about 20% to market cap. It's one of the thickest on Sui. So it's, you know,
that is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like people just really don't understand Tyler. Like he's a special dude. He's not a typical Web3 crypto dev. You know, he is a licensed broker and market maker on tier 1 exchanges. He cares about this place. He's been here a long time. You know,
I really
he's
picked
solving
up
a
on
problem. Yeah.
I noticed that. Like, I feel everyone's passionate about that, and I've been like wanting, like begging him to come in on a space so we could talk to him personally and have him answer questions. But I guess he wants to have everything done completely 100% before he goes on a space, because I've been dying to have a conversation with him and to get him, for people to be able to ask questions. I know he's totally active in the Telegram. He's totally responsive. Like, he's on there like 24/7, it seems like. But to be in a formal space like this, to be able to talk to him directly about what he's doing and like how he came to be and stuff, I think would be epic. And the coin would go into the stratosphere if he did that. But I respect that he wants to do it his way. So, we're waiting for him.
Yeah, he'll do it. I mean, he's a good talker. He talks like he types. It's
Because
sometimes
I've heard Marcus, speak as the pumpkin token on many spaces. Marcus is a really cool guy. He's really funny. I talk to him the most, and Chad. You got to be more bullish, Chad. It's kind of an inside
right.
joke.
No, Marcus and Chad are great. Everyone actually. I mean, Marcus is
Oh,
good
so
people.
if you're in the Telegram, I actually have a different name on Telegram because I got it way before I got into Sui. I'm Mr. Furley.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I've seen you in
that's
there.
me. Yeah, Wise DJ, and I'm Mr. Furley. Yeah, so that's me. I sometimes
You own the
forget.
building?
Yeah, that's actually where I got my nickname from. It's because I'm from the Bay Area, Mr. Furley, Mac Dre.
That's where I'm at.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Oakland.
Yeah, I'm from Concord, California. I say Oakland, but yeah, because I'm 40, in my early 40s, so I grew up with Mac Dre. He's my favorite rapper, and everyone thinks it's from Three's Company, but I'm like, nope. It's from the greatest rapper ever. But unfortunately, he was killed on my birthday, actually, in 2004. So he didn't get a chance to blow up worldwide. But I actually have contact with his mom, and I was thinking about making a Mac Dre meme coin because she would give me permission to use his imagery and his music and everything because she still owns Tiz Entertainment. Because I used to work at Wells Fargo, and that's where she used to work at. So,
all right, I'm in. So I bought 2 million more pumpkin token, and then I found the website, and I'm in. Nice. So you were saying before. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
You were saying before that.
Congratulations.
It's
Backtrack goated.
It's best to hold the other 2 million pumpkin on another wallet, right? Than the one that I used for
make a brand new address.
Yeah, and I'll send. So I'll do this after, but I send 2 million pumpkin to a new wallet, and save the private key somewhere. Then you said go to Bluefin.
Yeah, exactly. Right now you'll just scroll through it and check it out.
Yeah, exactly. And then later
I can walk you through it a little bit.
Yeah, and then after that I have to go to Bluefin and set up an account there. I've never used Bluefin before actually, but it's okay.
You want to set that up with a brand new wallet too, the one that you start the bot with.
Yeah, and the same one that I put the 2 million pumpkin in, right?
Yeah, it'd be the same one you'll start and put the 2 million in to actually sign into the dashboard and get ready. You don't want to use your main wallet for that with all your assets in it and stuff. It's just not how we do it.
Yeah, exactly. Rubber up. Safety first.
Yeah, and for everyone in the space, if you go to Crypto Mischief YouTube channel, you could actually see what's going on.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. So
we can see what he's doing if you go to the YouTube channel. So if you have the capability to, I know it might be kind of hard to be on the space and go to YouTube, but we're live on his channel, so you actually see what he's doing.
Looks pretty good though. So I could take Walrus Perpetual, and then pick the time frame for the chart, 5 minutes or something. Preset. Oh, it's safe, moderate, aggressive, or a yacht today. Nice. Okay. I'm definitely gonna actually try out yacht today. Definitely. Yeah, this is cool actually. Looks it's a little bit more user friendly as well, I think. Like the format. It's all personal though, right? These kind of things. Like depends on what we used before. Strategies.
Yeah, this is
grid tracking.
Is the way Tyler really wanted to see it like this. He wanted to build it like the brokerage table of his dreams.
Yeah.
So
trend follow, mean reversion, grid track, breakout volatility. That's nice, man.
Yeah, this is the strategy builder. That's how he's going to deal with vaults too. So that's more complex area, and it's still in construction, so it's not usable right now.
What's the idea for the vault?
Like, that's, I don't know. There's stuff to
so
that.
Uber told me about that. That's for
right.
if you just want to put money in and have it be completely automated, where you just enter in. The vault's going to be like a pool that will be traded by these techniques, and you'll earn money from it just by providing capital into the investment. So it's basically for people that want to set it and forget it and not even figure out anything. Just put money in and earn money from it. Just a super simple way.
Yeah.
That's what Uber told me it's going to be.
Yeah. That's, there's got to be an alleyway for everybody to, because some people aren't going to want to figure this out. But, the profitability, the reward is still there. So the incentives in it.
Yeah, I'm looking at your profile right now because on the Jumbotron, it doesn't actually play the video, but on your page, it just keeps repeating, and you could see these trades just constantly raking in profit just over time. It's kind of wild.
Well, once I figure it out fairly, I'll explain. I'll make a video like once, because I really want to cover this on my YouTube actually, but it's I want to understand it fully first, because otherwise it's kind of retarded to like, hey guys, look at this.
That'll be awesome.
So I'm gonna walk you through something pretty simple, right?
All right.
So if you want to set this thing up really simple, obviously you're not going to put in your private key now, so
yeah,
we'll skip that part. But the trading symbols up at the top.
Yep. Add new symbol, right?
Right. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Add new symbol. That's all you would click.
Nice.
And you'd pick, whatever, Sui, Wall, Deep, any of those. I would, Deep is pretty wiki over here, so be careful of Deep.
Yeah, it's been going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazier here.
Let's go.
So,
Walrus.
I'd suggest like if you get in touch with Richie, like kind of off space and explain everything to him, so he can go over like everything and get it down and make a full video like covering it instead of trying to do the whole thing live. So he could do like a really good job of showcasing it, because he needs someone to show him
through
how to do it with your knowledge.
Yeah,
with
this
your
is
knowledge
a quick
level.
run. This is really just how easy it is, right?
Yeah.
You pick your pair. You say, cool, there's my pair.
Got it.
You click the 3 dots in the box right there, and you'll see toggle dynamic. Toggle dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll turn that light green. So that's dynamic grids, right? And then you'll scroll down. That's it for that part for now, right? And you'll scroll down and you'll see update config. I would suggest long only, right? So the mode right there under general, just select long only. And then you'll see preset config right below update config. And you'll select I do yacht today. And you'll have Seifu, moderate, aggressive, and yacht today. And they all have the settings right below there where it says preset configurations. And you can click on them and they'll show you Seifu. These are the values. This is what because you can get more complicated with it, right? This just shows you how it's set up and how it's configured. So going back to update config, right? You put in your preset config, and which would be yacht today or moderate or whatever. And you say update config and apply preset, right? Well, first you'd want to start the bot. So I kind of skipped the start bot part. You would start the bot to initialize the bot to your wallet. And then you would save the config and then apply the preset. And that would layer the configuration on top of your bot that's connected to your wallet. And then it would start trading immediately on Bluefin. It would start setting positions.
That's fast.
Yep, that's it. That's all you would set. You would pick your pair, dynamic grid, long only, whatever your config, yacht today or whatever. Start the bot, update config, apply preset. Then you're off.
Excellent. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try it tonight. So yeah, if I come across any problems, I'll probably DM you on X just with this account. Or it might be this one, it might be my Crypto Mischief one, which is also, I think, in this space. But yeah, definitely. Cool.
Yeah, Pork Chop definitely should help him out, because it'd be awesome to get a full breakdown of the whole strategy on his channel, because he definitely has some reach, and
I want a yacht.
it would be great to see somebody break it down in a way that everyone can understand. You could just point people to a YouTube video and they could learn how to do it perfectly.
Well, there's never perfectly though. There's something. It's trading.
Well, that's why your channel says right. Don't get wrecked. Let me do it for you.
Yeah,
Richie.
true.
Richie will do it.
Yeah, and always remember your leverage you set for that is on Bluefin. It's not on the dashboard.
Yeah.
So before you would start your bot, you would obviously make sure over there that your leverage is set lower, because it's like default 20x or something like that, and you don't want that. 2x is what I start everybody at, and I say if you're trading one pair, you should have no less than 300 USDC, the wrapped USDC ETH inside the account.
That's good
advice. If you're trading two pairs on one account, 500 minimum. So, and you can just, I've tested it for almost a month now and it works. I've got a couple accounts running with just the minimum, and I've been watching it compound and grow. So it's working.
That's usually my thought process. Yeah. Sorry, Farley, carry on.
I was wondering what you do you have experience with Pancake Swap and yield farms? Because Richie, he's the developer of Sui Trump Coin, and he's developing the Sui farm and the Sui Dex, and wondering if you've seen anything about that, or if you have any questions for him with someone of your knowledge level of these kind of projects and products. Wondering what you thought about that, or if you even heard about what he's doing.
That's like Victory token and stuff, yeah?
Yeah, so basically a fork of Pancake Swap is how he explained it, and the emission token is called Victory. So maybe if you could explain what you're doing with your farm, Richie, to remind everyone what's going on. There's probably a lot of new listeners.
Sure. So we're making a yield farm on Sui, which will allow users to supply liquidity into our DEX called Sui DEX. Then they get an LP coin. They can then stake it in our farm and earn Victory token, which they can then use to earn more yield. They can profit take with. And the whole idea is to try and, just like Sui Accelerator is trying to onboard more, new users into Sui network and try and incubate projects which are growing on Sui. This is exactly what I want to do with the yield farm, where we will form partnerships with other projects to then offer their communities to come to our farm and then earn Victory. So for example, if we made a friendship with any token, then we'd form a partnership. We would then give them a pool in our farm where their community could deposit the tokens, their LP coins, and earn Victory. It's the big idea behind it. Because before we were talking about trading, which I'm working on getting better at, but most of my experience I've done in crypto the last 5-6 years has been yield farming, even back to Sushi Swap, back on Tron in 2019-2020, yield farming, then of course Pancake Swap, Uniswap, Aerodrome. I use DEXs and yield farms daily for passive income. And I decided, you know what, I might as well just make my own one. So we have very smart tokenomics on the emissions, which we finalized, and also on how we can incentivize people not to farm and dump the Victory token, which will be the reward coin, which is going to offer a lot of benefits for users, which is great too. So that's what we're building. That's the plan. Almost done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you earned enough Victory token, and say you're a project on Sui that runs a lot of transactions through a DEX, there would be, there's incentives or something for people that have a certain trade volume or something, fees, or how would that work?
Well, for example, say we could use Pumpkin as an example. Say we farm a relationship and we want to work together. Then what we would do is we would make a pool on Sui Farm where you could take Pumpkin and Sui token, or Pumpkin and USDC. The project can decide what they want to pair with. And that would then essentially all that users would have to do would be to come to our DEX, pair their pumpkin with USDC or Sui, and they get an LP coin, then deposit it into the farm. From there, once they're deposited in the farm, they would start earning victory token, and they can unstake and unpair at any time, just like any other DEX. So it's a way of attracting liquidity to our DEX by rewarding the LP providers with a token. And then for the communities who are growing and trying to get more attention or more reasons for their user base to buy their token, then this is just offering an extra aspect for what they can talk about. Like, oh, you can also add our tokens into this audited and trusted partner farm where you can earn passive income. Essentially, is the handoff. The big caveat for that is that we will have a small fee for depositing into the farm, which will be used to buy and burn Sui Trump token. So as the project grows, we will see continuous volume of buy and burn on Sui Trump, which is kind of the mascot of the farm. So we'd have the victory token as the reward token, and the efficiency of the farm aimed at buying and burning Sui Trump to reduce the supply and moon it is the big idea.
And Pork Chop, just like how you say, like, Tyler for a long time and you trust him, like, I've known Richie for 5 years. I was one of his first 200 subs, and I know there's a lot of like shady crypto YouTube channels that just make money off their followers.
There's
Richie's
a lot of them, yeah.
as legit as they come. Like, he's the most legit, most integrity, almost to integrity, like even paying for things out of pocket when it's not even his responsibility. But he's a humble guy, so I have to kind of give him more props than he gets. But you should check out his whole entire channel because he's definitely very intelligent with crypto. He's been through the cycles, and he's definitely not trying to profit off of his followers. He's trying to help everybody win with him. And that's something I know for a fact by getting to know him over the years. So I highly recommend everyone give him a sub.
Oh, yeah.
Follow. He's almost about to crack 30,000 subs. So
yeah. All I'm trying to do is moon Sui Trump. That's the mission.
Yeah. The more followers he gets, the more attention we get to all the projects that are in the Accelerator program, which Pumpkin Token is part of. So, we get him more subs, we get more pump on all of our projects. That's how we all win together. That's what we're trying to do.
Let's keep cooking.
Let's go.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Does someone else want to come up and talk about what they got going on? Millie, I know you have your mint coming up. If you want to come up and talk about it.
Yeah, I thought that was cool last week. Millie has been around since May, and last October was pretty early. I hadn't heard of any project being around for that long. So I thought that was pretty interesting that his project's been around since May, and even Doonies, he vouched for Millie himself because he was on last week's show, but looks like Millie might be having technical issues, or he's not listening at the moment. But if anyone else wants to talk about their project, Aquashock.
Sure, I'll pop in for a little quick sec since we're talking about all the yield farming and small cap ones. That's something that's right up our alley here. Aquashock, we started off on Move Pump, similar to Sui Trump and Toilet and a few other bangers. We're going to make those Move Pump tokens great again. We're one of the last ones that bonded on Move Pump. At the very bottom of the ocean, we were born in the Sui trenches. And just as Richie and those guys have mentioned earlier, as Sui rises, our market cap is raising it up pretty well.
I heard someone say, "Did I rug?" I'm not sure who was asking that, but yeah, Aquashock, that was crazy. It was 72% bonded, and you're like, well, let's just do a space. I'm like, okay, let's hop on, and then all these people joined. And the chart literally went parabolic while we were talking. Like, I wanted to get off the space because I wanted to keep you talking.
I was like, let's just keep talking. So it was
because I only had my wallet with coins ready on my phone, which I was on the space with, and I didn't want to like wreck the space. So, like, I got to get more token. Everyone's buying all of them, but that was pretty fun experience. Like one space just totally went parabolic, like immediately. That was pretty cool, and to see you're the dev, but you're dropping AI videos and memes that are like incredible stuff that you don't even see that level of skill
Thanks, buddy.
in very high level projects. Like,
It's
you know,
something that
I
I just
know.
really passionately enjoy, and like just similar to a lot of the other projects here, you know, just really caring about what you're doing and having fun with it and bringing the integrity to it, getting the AI art and memery happening. That's just something that I've always loved doing in all the different projects I've been in over the years on ETH and BNB and Soul, and then now, you know, being able to do that for myself and for others and just chip away at it in a really exciting space. It's fun. So I'm enjoying the AI tools. I have a bunch of plans to do some more AI stuff that I know you're really jazzed on, and you're really strong with your LLM knowledge and stuff. So I love listening to you on that. And yeah, it's just a good, honest token that is in the right place with the right people. And we just want to be a part of Sui Chain and working with everyone and getting different pairings with different tokens and partnering with our Sui Accelerator friends like Richie and Pumpkin. I'm really excited to play around with that bot. Sui Side and Goblins. I've been chatting to them about maybe doing a potential thing, little alpha there. So yeah, we got a lot of cool things happening, and it's just something that's consistent with a good heart that we're trying to move forward in the space. So awesome to be here, and I love listening to you guys all the time every Thursday with the Sui Accelerator crew.
And I want to take it a little further than that, Denny, because I've talked with Denny in DMs. I know, you know, I'm with the Accelerator project, and I know we have a lot of partners, but definitely Aquashock and Denny. I've talked to him on DMs more than anyone else, and he's definitely like a legit person. He really cares about what he's doing. He doxed himself like on the first day, I think, but to me personally, we know like a lot more about each other personally, and he's definitely a good dude, and I can vouch for that 100%. You know, he's definitely wanting to do the right thing and build Sui and build what he's doing. And the fact that he also came from Pepe on Sui as part of that kind of group, which I know Masimoto also and what they've been doing for a long time. And that's the whole point of the accelerator, is that we promote projects based on if they have integrity or not because they're doing paid promos. So that's why I felt this was important for us to do this, that we can have projects that instead of they gave us money, they, you know, committed to doing the right thing and building Sui and building together, because that's like a force multiplier. That is what this project and what this network has needed, you know, with all this rug pulls and bad actors. That's exactly what we're trying to avoid. So,
and I think, you know,
awesome.
we're here now. We are the Sui culture, everyone here in this X space, and Sui's going to be what we make it. And if we hold ourselves to a good high level of integrity and looking out for each other, then we can make Sui something that's different, that's never been seen before, different than Soul. And I just really feel that when I've come here and everyone that I've spoke to. So I'm just looking forward to working with everyone. If your bags are just getting super pumped, rotate a little bit into Aquashock, $10-$20, and it's going to be good. So keep it rocking, and I'm still here listening and talking too.
Fifth column, do you have a question, comment? You have the mic.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Yo, speaking of farms, you know, Sui Bee Farm, we're dropping next week. We got the mint coming out on 4/30, and this weekend is the Pesto Festo, the farm aid for the nonprofit farm that we partnered with. They're doing like a, you know, fundraiser. It's got music.
Well, fifth column, could you kind of go like back to the origination of this? Like, what is
tell us
the
more
project
about
you talked about? Because I haven't heard about any of this. So if you could start from the beginning.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, originally, you know, made all the assets and everything back when we were working with GameStop. and right when we were gonna launch, well, GameStop didn't have smart contract because it's layer 2, and you know, it was just kind of a, you know, a short-lived phenomenon, that marketplace. But ended up just not even, you know, minting the assets ever, and then you know, found Sui. Everything that Aquashock just said is 100% how I feel too. It reminds me of like when GameStop was just launching. Like everybody was building for the sake of building, like supporting each other for the sake of supporting each other. It was just, it was really cool. Like it felt like, you know, it felt really cool. It wasn't all about money like the, you know, dirty soul chain. Not that we're gonna
So
badmouth chains.
are you the developer yourself, or are you close to the developer, or what?
Yeah. I'm I guess I'm one of the developers, but yeah, I'm a big part of the team, and yeah, you know, we work with a lot of nonprofits. We did like NFTs for charities, Jasmine's Army. We raised like, you know, $25,000 for kids in Limon in
So
Haiti.
the page that you're speaking on right now, fifth column, is that the project's page, or does it have its own X page?
Yeah, I think we just made a X account, Sui Beekeeper.
Well, if you could put that on the Jumbotron so we could see, you know, what the
I would
project
love
actually.
to, but I can't because I can't seem to make any comments, or I don't even know how I got here. To be honest, I think I just
Okay,
followed Pepe.
so just post whatever you want to share. Just post on your profile, and I'll take your most recent post and put it up there for you. So just post whatever you want to put up there right now as your most recent post, and then I can put it up there for you.
That sounds good. Yeah, because it doesn't look like a normal space right now. But yeah, we have a token coming out after 30 days. 33% of the mint is going to be used for, well, it'll go directly to bee conservation with the farm we partnered with, and then 33% is going to go to the LP of the token that we're launching, and it's a reward token. Yeah, pollen. So you get pollen for staking the NFT. And they're little bee characters, and oh yeah, and the rarity determines the amount of discounts you get for the honey, because we do have a small bee farm over here, and
So you have a post that's pinned to your profile. Do you
yeah,
want me to share that one, or is it?
that's probably just as good. I was trying to find one, but my phone's being weird, and I don't want to rug on accident.
Okay, I put your the one you have pinned on Jumbotron, so you know if this information is there, they can see it.
Yeah, it's a lot of words, so I'm sure it's there. If not, you know, I'll be,
Well,
you know, more
it's about
active.
the happy Easters to celebrate. I've listed some memer activists with bee traits for less than 2 Sui.
Yeah, I think those are still up actually. If anybody wants them, they're all whitelisted for the drop. So you get the NFT. If you get the, you know, a legendary one, you just pay for shipping on the honey. So real IRL assets.
That's interesting you talked about bee conservation, because I was just talking to somebody on Reddit where that's what they do full time. Is they're a bee farmer or a beekeeper, but not for like honeybees, but for like wild bees. I don't know, but they were talking about all this stuff that's really in depth and complicated. It's like a pretty big deal because the earth relies on bees, so that's
Very
pretty cool.
important pollinator, and 80% of you know, I think 80% of honeybees are dead since January just because of some kind of, I don't know, it's a culmination of things, but we're not doing very good. And guerrilla gardening is, you know, kind of a fun hobby to have. So, you know, you can always plant a pollinator garden in your public park because you own it too, because it's public. So,
Well, you know, we have the Sui Accelerator X page, but we're also doing an NFT access pass where if you want to get exposure for your project, you can allocate a certain amount of coins to the access pass that go all to the NFT holders, not to the page itself as an airdrop, you know, and the more projects that join, the more of a, you know, group source of legitimacy that we have. And your coins aren't going to just somebody for like a promo payment. They're going to 1,000 different NFT holders of people that are wanting to invest in legitimate projects. So if you're interested, you know, that's something you can check in with. And, you know, we have lots of other projects that have joined because the Sui Accelerator is hosting it, but the Sui Builders is what I was doing on my page before I joined up with Meme Coin Mobster and Paste, who is the developer of Social Suicide Club, which I'm not sure. I guess is Paste not available tonight?
He was on the plane listening, but he's on his way for a trip. So he's on his way to Vegas, but he's going to try and tune in later if we're still on.
Okay. Yeah, because, you know, Paste is kind of the mastermind as far as the NFT passes goes, because I don't know super much about NFTs on Sui. I know blockchain technology, and, you know, I'm a computer nerd and know operating systems and cryptography and that stuff. But as far as NFTs on Sui, they're pretty complicated. And I know he has already made the meme coin mobster. I guess they're Social Suicide Club. I call them mobsters. I think that's a good enough name. They sold out. You guys sold out in what, the first hour?
It was 27 minutes. We sold out. Yeah, it was quick. He definitely knows his NFTs, and we do have a few partnerships with Tradeport. So like if you need anything, I reach out and we'll see what we can do in terms of that for you.
That was huge when I saw that Tradeport actually partnered with Sui Accelerator itself, and then also Raiden-X, because I've been working with Raiden-X since whenever Richie did the promo to get more buy volume. I was in their Telegram helping them with moderation.
Yeah, and the other thing is
made me a moderator there.
Yeah, we also have moon bags, and we're working actually. We're in talks with another potential NFT launch pad, so like multiple options.
Moonbags is part of Raiden-X. They're the same developer.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I'll definitely be in touch. I was considering doing Animal Labs or Tradeport. I didn't know because it seems like the new thing. I haven't really been able to talk to anybody over there.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, bro. With Chop too. If you talk to Chop on Sui, like he's doing Animal Labs right now, so like maybe talk to him and see what his experience is.
Oh yeah, the Sui heads. Yeah, I gotta save some funds. I was just about to get some Aqua Shock, and I just got 23 billion more Pepe. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Man. Yeah. Well, Pepe has more tokens than the usual 10 billion. How many tokens does Pepe have?
I think it's 420 billion if I'm not, or 420 trillion if I'm not mistaken.
400. No, it's
oh, there you are.
420 trillion and 690 billion. That's the same as the OG Pepe on ETH.
Yeah, so you definitely get a lot more tokens than most. You know, a lot of projects seem to default on Sui to just 10 billion, but I mean, the coin amount doesn't matter. You know, it matters what the value is, what you're getting. So, and the fact that it's copying the original Pepe coin, that's perfect. I think it's the meme worthy thing to do, out of respect. So yeah, there's a wealth of knowledge with everyone involved in the accelerator program. We can find something, if you need it, we can provide what you need out of it, and the best way possible, no matter what it is you need. I provide, you know, making your reach further, because I'm not just on X, I'm on Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, YouTube. You know, Richie's we're live on YouTube right now on his channel, I think, if he's still with us. But we have a lot of ways to all help each other out and have it not be a competition. We can just help each other win and elevate other projects that are doing the correct thing.
I think it's brilliant, you know, given kind of evening out the playing field for the VC. Like the VC guys have had their way for a while, like the big money, but it's the small
Exactly.
projects that kind of inspire the big projects to do anything creative anyway. So this is brilliant. I'm happy to help out wherever I can.
Yeah, basically, because I was tired of seeing other, I'd say, caller accounts. Like, I don't want to name anyone specifically, but there's accounts that are so-called like insider accounts of Sui that will just promote projects for money. Even though they're known to be malicious, they'll still promote them like they're doing great work next to other projects that are honest, knowing that they're definitely not legitimate. And that's just very upsetting when I see stuff like that. So
LA Vape Cabal. Yeah.
So we basically, you know, that's why I was able and wanted to hook up with Paste and Mobster on this project, because that's important to me, is promoting integrity and transparency and people that are actually trying to build and help people win, not just be greedy and take from others maliciously. Like that goes against everything that I represent. Like, I've never done anybody wrong in the crypto space ever. I've given way more than I've received. Like, I give projects moderation, content, space, my time for free. I never ask for anything because I want to build Sui Network. I've been doing that since October, whenever Sui Trump came out, because I see the potential here. And being a computer nerd from getting my computer science degree in 2004, being habitually online every day, I understand the technology, and the things capable with Sui Network are amazing. And soon enough, people are going to realize that, and they're going to be piling into this network. So we're all super early, because the Suinami's coming. That's for sure.
Yeah, right now we're just party planning, and we're going to be great hosts when people come here. Like, we're all going to be working together. They're going to show up at the party, and it's going to be an absolute banger.
Heck yeah. And, you know, if you want to launch a project, you come to Accelerator, you have literally every tool possible. You can imagine advice from people that are vetted by us with, you know, unbreakable integrity and proven, you know, track record of helping people win and promoting doing the right thing. And, you know, not everyone is on this base right now. We have people all across the world, but, you know, we have like watchdogs out there, like Wyatt, I think, is a really awesome dude. You know, he'll come on spaces sometimes and he'll call out, yeah, this one profile just did a giveaway and they didn't even pay a winner, you know, just spotting bad actors. And, you know, I love to see that stuff, because we want to keep Sui clean as possible. We don't want it to be another, you know, Solana just rug fest of greed and chaos. You know, Solana has its positives by it's so huge, but it's also has some very volatile stuff going on there, and we want to try to avoid that as much as possible, because of course it's going to happen still, but, you know, keep it as best as we possibly can. So if anyone else wants to talk about your project, you know, that's what we're here for. I always say I'll go as long as it takes for everyone to get a chance to speak.
Pepe, do you have anything new in terms of?
Yeah, Pepe, what about your NFTs? What, you know, how are you making an NFT work after all this time of being a project? Because I was thinking of maybe making my own NFT collection that's kind of like a sidekick of Sui Trump or something to make it work. I don't know, but because it seems NFTs are so hot right now.
Yeah, and I like just the way how you can reward your community or the real holders that are going to purchase one of these NFTs, it's an easy way to just send out airdrops and whitelists for other projects NFTs. So yeah, I just like that. You always have the real holders on track.
Yeah, because anyone that's paying attention, you can see that literally every single NFT collection that I've seen that has spaces and the developers showing up, what happens? They sell out within hours. Every single one I've seen, which is wild, you know, from those of us coming from other chains where NFTs are dead. It's like people are buying up NFTs on what are they doing? NFTs are dead. But they don't understand. Sui NFTs are not the same as regular NFTs. They have properties. They have things you can change ongoing. They're dynamic. So you can make them whatever you want them to be, even after they're already sold. You can still add features, add benefits to them. That's why these NFTs are so popular on Sui, because they're dynamic. You know, that's something that I had to look into and study and figure it out. It's for that reason specifically, because they're not just static JPEGs. They have real properties. They have benefits. They're transferable. There's the Sui NS name service, another in-house project by Mistin, where you're going to be able to have voice over blockchain. You know how there used to be voice over IP? Now it's VoIP, voice over blockchain, through the Sui blockchain to make video calls and even just audio calls with the Sui NS. And just getting one of those gets you a year of service to do that. And they're only $10. And you have a custom Sui address. Mistin Labs is just absolutely killing it with everything they're adding. They're just making all this utility and letting people discover it naturally. And once all these companies see the potential here, it's just going to be a monstrous wave of new companies, new investors, new money, retail, just pouring into this network. I already see it coming. I know it's going to happen because this is the only network where it's possible. So
especially builders, because it's so cheap to build.
Yes, and Mistin will even pay you money to build on their network. You know, if you're doing something good, that's what Yannick Meissen just did with Swarm Network, being with the Sui Hub Accelerator page. You know, that's a Mistin sponsored project. You know, they will pay you to come to this network. That's how passionate they are. They want to build, and it's just so awesome to see them. They're in Dubai right now at base camp, you know, just dropping alpha left and right, partnership with MasterCard, Pokemon. It's, you know, that's why Sui is soaring right now, because they're in Dubai telling the whole world all these amazing things that they were waiting to tell everyone.
Did he just
What's
frog?
Up?
Yeah,
no,
potentially
is Bob there?
Yeah, I want to hear Bob.
I know Bob's
he's always
just a listener right now, but you know, Mr. Crypto, I always give him props because I seen him doing something called the DAO, Sui DAO or something like this.
Sui Booster DAO. That's actually what we're cooking. And
yeah, because you know, me and Mr. Crypto, we've been speaking for a long time in Spaces since way back in the day, like last year. And he's actually the reason why I noticed Suicide Social Club and got involved with Paste and Mobster. You know, it's this community effort and making connections with people that are honest that made all this happen. Like, none of this would even be happening if we weren't all communicating back in the day, trying to build something better. So, you know, I was wanting to get in touch with him and seeing if there's a way we can even combine what he's doing with the accelerator program, just make it even more bigger and more of a combined effort empire of these people are doing the right thing, you know, so people know where to go. But he did speak at the last like 3 spaces we had
He's
every
coming up.
Thursday.
He's coming up.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, Mr. Crypto, he's had spaces on video where he's live streaming too to multiple different pages like Twitch and Kick and YouTube, showing his
He's
face and
doxed as
everything.
well.
Yeah, it shows his face and he has a lot of good information.
I think he's rugging a little bit right now. It won't connect him.
It still shows his listener to me. I don't know if we have to drop.
Yeah, that Sui Booster bot and the stuff that Mr. Crypto builds is pretty top notch. I know Massey's a big fan of it, and that the hype bot for tokens and stuff is really cool and useful.
Yes, we actually built it together with Sui Bets. So it's a triple, you could say, project partnership, and we financed the creation of the bot. Here he is, Mr. Crypto.
Here we go. Yeah. I've spoken with Sui Bets before because Sui Bets speaks Spanish also. I've spoken with him on a project,
and
what he's doing, I just got to give him props because I use online casinos also. You can make bets on Bet365 using just Sui through Sui Bets with no KYC. That's huge because getting KYC on a casino and getting verified is very frustrating. So the fact that you can make bets non-KYC through Sui Bets on a legitimate website, that's going to be massive as soon as people figure out that that's possible. Because that's something that I would use myself.
It's a huge market. Billion dollar market.
So Bob, you're a speaker now. You want to have a chance to speak? I'd love to hear from you if you're ready. I know you're showing as a speaker now.
Yo, what's going on, boys? How y'all doing?
What's up, bro? We're doing good. We're just trying to build and promote projects doing the right thing, and I've always trusted your judgment, so I like to hear what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. Well, I've just been very busy, bro. I haven't had a chance to really come onto spaces, host them, or even do live streams because I've been working hard on the background. The project that we're actually promoting is actually a tool that you guys have utilized, which is the Sui Booster. The Sui Booster is a volume bot that helps your project trend on Deck Screener. It helps your project burn tokens. And so, you know, me, Pepe on Sui and Sui Bets, we partnered a while back. And so we came together to build this volume bot. And it's very profitable, I will say, but our goal is to dominate and be the number one bot in the ecosystem. So in order to do that, you need a lot more people to be talking about it. You know, it's good that, you know, several people of us can benefit, but it's much better when everyone can get a piece of the pie, because now instead of having 5 people talking about the project on a daily basis, you have 200, 300 people talking about it. So it doesn't matter if there's tokens being launched, we won't ever miss out because we want people to use our bot, right? And so the people that make the money are the ones selling the shovels, not the ones going out there looking for the treasure. So that's the reason why we decided to turn our actual bot into a DAO so that people could reap the benefit of it. Right now, we did just launch the DAO platform that I created. So if you guys go to suiboosterdao.com, you guys can check it out. The only way you will be able to make proposals or vote is if you own the actual DAO NFT. If you don't know it, then you can just be an spectator of what we're building. And as always, since it is a public, DAO, it's a non-autonomous DAO, you will be able to pretty much see everything that we're doing, which I think is pretty cool. And this is the first platform on Sui that is like that, except for the one that Mistin created for the name services. Besides that, there's no other platforms like that. But this is just a stepping stone to create more platforms like it, because that's something that we're missing in the space. A place where you can go and make your vote be heard, and a place where you can make proposals as well. So we do see a big gap between products that are needed and people building it. And I do believe right now we're on a roll. We knocked down an actual Sui volume bot. We got an actual DAO platform where you can make votes, and that's gonna be public to the people in the upcoming. I want to say a couple of weeks. It will be able to take me to open it up to the public. So those are the things that we're building, that we're cooking. We are gonna be minting on Saturday. We're just finishing up a partnership that we have with Tradeport. So hopefully that gives us a little bit of boost and more exposure of what we're building. And we are on Walrus. So if you want to use the volume bot that we have, you can go to suibooster.wall.app. And we're actually, I think, the number 16 project that got listed on Walrus Explorer. So I'm very excited, very happy, and I'm ready to take this to the next level. And you guys can become part of our club, our family, in a way that you're gonna reap the benefit from.
Well, that's exactly what I was wanting to talk to you about, because you may have missed the earlier part of the space, but what Sui Accelerator is we're promoting projects based on integrity and merit. And there's going to be an NFT access pass that gets airdropped coins from all of our partnerships, which we have a massive amount of now. We also have partnerships with Tradeport and with Raiden and with Pepe on Sui, with Sui Trump, with Pumpkin Token, with Chop, with Aquashock, a huge list. So I was trying to figure out a way, since you're doing the same thing and promoting things that are doing things correct, if we could somehow merge the benefits of both of the NFTs that we're doing into one, or give benefits of our NFT to what yours doing and vice versa, and make that work out. I think that would be huge. Of course, it's going to be something that we'd have to speak about privately with Paste and yourself. But, I think being a force multiplier of just as many different avenues of things that are trying to help everyone win and give people good products that aren't ripping people off, that's what our goal is. And I think that would be awesome if we could somehow make that a mega NFT, package, where we're combining the best of what we both have to offer as like kind of a friendship, partnership, whatever, even if it's not like a direct partnership, just some way to at least, highlight each other's projects that we're doing, because we want to keep Sui, with people that are doing the right thing. And the Sui Accelerator X page, even without the access pass, is still going to promote projects that have integrity and are doing the right thing, regardless if they participate in the access pass. So, and like you said too, it's just the first collection in a series of things that we're looking to do in the future. So we would love to build together with you and do as much stuff with you as possible.
Vatos for life. Sangre for sangre. Let's go.
And Richie has his YouTube channel. I'm not sure if we're still live on his YouTube channel, but he's already said if he sees projects that are doing the right thing and have integrity, he'll cover them on his YouTube channel. And he's been doing it for 5 years. He has a really good track record of integrity. I've known him for 5 years. I was one of his first subs. He's definitely a legit person, legit YouTuber that does crypto, which is pretty rare these days. I'm also making a custom chat GPT for Sui, where it's trained on Sui and all the tricks that I've learned, because I've done data annotation and data analytics for LLMs and trained them for the last 2 years. So I know how to use them at like a super elite level user. Like if I posted my GPT stats, they almost look like unbelievable. You'd think they're like a lie. But I'm going to make a custom. Oh yeah, I showed them to you, didn't I, Denny? Yeah, those aren't fake stats. Those are. I could do a live video and prove that that's legit.
It's unreal the
stats.
cool stuff you're doing with the GPT.
So yeah, so I'm going to give everyone access. I mean, it does require you to have a plus subscription to get custom GPT access, but this is going to be trained on the Sui blockchain of information that I've spent the last 9 months on Sui, and plus customizing my GPT for the even longer than that. Just use that knowledge and put it into a custom GPT called Sui GPT or whatever name. and you can use this custom GPT that's specific to the Sui network to get some really cool information. And data scrapes of websites that are available on shareable Google Docs that it can access, that I can update constantly. So it's not just one tool. It'll be evolving and have all of the newest information that you can get automatically through a chat GPT interface instead of trying to look for it manually. So that's one benefit that I hope that is going to be awesome for people to use, because it does help me out a lot.
Amazing stuff.
You
Let me just go ahead and answer his question for him, because I know he spoke and I didn't get to. Definitely, if you want to set up a call tomorrow, we can definitely hop on, because our mint is on Saturday, so we can definitely try to work something out to, get your community in there, reap the benefit. I think we're gonna be super over allocated, and just do keep in mind that we don't have a 4,000 collection. It's just 1,000 members that are gonna be participants. So but yeah, we'll definitely talk about it, because you guys do bring a lot to the table. So I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
going to be
so Paste, it's Paste, the developer of Social Suicide Club. We'd really need to get him involved, because he's the one that's mainly setting everything up, and he's not on this space right now. So we definitely need to get in a call with him, because he has the exact same number planned, 1,000 NFTs. And even if we don't come up with something before you do the mint, I'm sure there's ways we can still work together and help each other out, because I know you're a good dude and are trying to build correctly. And you gave me a shout out of people that aren't circle jerking and trying to do something legit. That was a pretty funny post you made. And hablo español también, como Mr. Crypto. And así I made a lot of friends by being able to speak Spanish. And I think that's a cool way to connect with other communities and stuff. So I thought that was cool too. We have that Latino X channel for the Spanish speakers.
Oh, we got Planks.
Yeah. Planks is awesome. I saw their video that they made, that they had pinned to their page, and I was like, this is awesome. And I think that's totally cool. And I recently sent him a message too on Telegram, telling him about what we're doing. And I think he wants to work with Accelerator as well, because Mr. Crypto, I know you're really involved with Planks, but the developer he said, he's known you for a long time, but you're not like the developer. You're just really close with the developer. But I trust him because of you. So I think that's really cool what he's doing, because that video is really awesome, and I like rap music, and like the Santa Fe clan, and that video is really cool. And it talks about La Puteria. It's really awesome to me, the video production they have.
Yum Story, I know you were kind of next in line. If you want to talk, you have the mic.
Yeah, definitely, Yum. Love to hear from you. Oh, Planks is here too. That's awesome. So maybe Yum's not available to speak yet, but going through the listeners, Dream is here. I know them from the Toilet Dust Project. They're super talented with artificial intelligence content and videos. Is amazing. He's that gold star owl there. He's definitely a Chad for the Sui network. Planks is here, listening. And Moon, Ed Crypto, he was on the space with Costas and Yannick. I noticed him there. We have Danira, Kyle's Coins. Those are both Reddit connections that I made from a long time ago for people that are still grinding it out on Reddit. I've been up to almost 200 days in a row posting on r/Sui. Yoon. Oh, we have Doonies again. He was here last week. What's up, bro? Doonies is here again. Wow, there's a lot of people joined in. So yeah, if you guys want to talk about your project, that's what we're here for. We'd love to hear from you. We want to hear from anybody that wants to speak about anything they are passionate about or want to talk about. It's open mic. You can come up and speak. We want to hear
Yo,
from you.
what's up, brother?
There you go. What's up, Yum?
Oh, I didn't know you called on me, bro. So yeah, I am working on this video game heavily, day in and day out. We've spent over 150 hours in RPG Maker. We've added all the fancy plugins. We've battle tested multiple times. We've made sure all the music is just filled with bangers, and we're
So Yum,
excited for this.
if you could try and start from the beginning, because it's kind of a lot of information at once. Could you
Yeah.
like start with like what the idea was, what your project is, who the developer is, what the game is about? Give us an introduction to what you're doing. Would be a lot more helpful.
So, Yume's story is going to be a dreamy 2D pixel RPG. It's going to be similar to Pokemon, or I'm not sure if you've played any Japanese RPG games like Tales of Fantasia or like the Touhou games specifically,
How
or
about Final
Undertale.
Fantasy?
It's exactly like Final Fantasy. We've actually
Oh,
we use the same engine that Final Fantasy 1 and 2 they used for those GBA makes. Same software. The only thing is that we're adding in a bunch of fancy plugins to make the game a lot better than Final Fantasy 1 and 2 GBA. So I'm not sure if you played that port
yeah,
specifically.
I grew up on Final Fantasy games. I'm in my early 40s. I witnessed the dawn of the internet. I'm OG internet, crypto, everything. So I've witnessed it all. I grew up on Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, all of them, up to 7 and 10.
So if you've
Final
played
Fantasy
4
7
and
was the shit.
6, if you've played 4, 6, and 1, specifically the GBA remake, not the original NES one, you're going to see a lot of memes and tropes that directly correlate to that game. And then also you're going to see a lot of like Castlevania memes. We got Elon Musk is a official in-game boss.
Oh,
We
snap.
just put that in. It's gonna be crazy, man. You're gonna have to go to SpaceX headquarters in game, and then and there's gonna be a whole bunch of lore that unfolds. I haven't even added all the dialogue, but we're still working on it. I mean, we're expecting this to be completed by like next month. We trained a model specifically for the attack pattern. So the thing that's different about our game than like a Pokemon or Final Fantasy game is that Final Fantasy is like a turn-based game where you attack and then they attack you, and it's just like quick, shot for shot. But in our game, what we did is we overhauled the battle engine with some specific plugins to make it to go into like a bullet hell phase where the enemy will shoot a bunch of different ranges of bullet patterns at you, and you have this little cursor, and you have to avoid the bullets for like a short period of time, making every single enemy attack much more interesting, and like it makes every battle count. Our experience system, we've scaled it to be low on numbers, so we're not going in the millions and billions of experience points. One gold is one gold, one exp is, it's worth a lot early game, and then like later on in the game, I mean, you're gonna still have to grind to get to certain parts, but it's like one of those things where we didn't want to make the EXP all super crazy, so then that way like attacks and magic would have all these buffer overflows and all this logic that didn't make sense. It's this game is gonna be a spectacle of modern mathematics and AI.
Sounds
Cool.
awesome. Are
It's
you
turn-based and like a Max Payne bullet time dodge action RPG mixed with the classic turn-based RPG.
Yeah, so when the enemies attack you, you have to go through a short bullet phase, like a short bullet hell phase, and they're just really quick time attacks. So that's why in this game you kind of want to take them out quickly before they attack you, because it's you know what I mean. You don't want to be sitting there for like extra 6 seconds having to dodge all those bullets. We've A lot of the enemies in games are memes. We put the Pepe meme in there. We put Pedro in there. We're literally trying to work on getting like every single meme in the game. So then that way, we wanted to hit that nostalgia point. I put an optional side boss. So I put side boss battles in there, like ones that are optional that you can fight. You don't have to do, but you can, like Marth from Final Fantasy, or I'm sorry, from Fire Emblem. We put Marth in there as a side boss just for fun. Um,
Cool.
and some Tails characters. Yeah, it's crazy, man. This game, Chat GPT's been really helping with a lot of the formulas and stuff. I've been customly curating a lot of the art, and then tweaking the patterns and making sure everything just hits right.
Is it
I'm
pay to
sure.
earn or play to earn?
No, so it's gonna be like I don't know how like the business model is gonna work for like selling or the game, or if it's gonna be free, but like the kind of like the way I want to do it is where I want like the users to just pay like a one time like $20. All right, here's the game, or like even $10 is cool for me. Like if like users paid $10 to get the game, like a code on like a key on Steam to be able to download it, or if we can do this via DeFi or blockchain or however this might work. um
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
need
pay to
kind
win.
of a model for
Well,
that.
hit me up. If they get a premium one, I'll airdrop them some Aquashock.
and we have the Sui Accelerator Access Pass program where we already have partnerships with like 15, maybe 20 projects so far, where we help you with your promotion and anything else you need, and you basically can put up like a certain percentage of coin if your project has one, or any other benefit to be airdropped to all of the NFT holders, and it goes to the NFT holders. And the Sui Accelerator X page, we only promote projects that have proven integrity and transparency and are doing the right thing, and we don't accept paid promotions. We accept projects with transparency and integrity that want to build and do things the correct way. So that's what we're doing. That's why we're having this space also, to get the word out and to get more partners of people that want to do the right thing and have good people to back you up that have been in this network for a long time. That if you're new, we can check out what you're doing and vouch for you, and boost your project up if you're doing something honest and trying to do the right thing and adding value to Sui Network. So that's what we're about here. So that's why we like hearing from people. Is he still with us?
Check that.
I'm still here. I'm battle testing, brother.
So did you catch what I said about how we're doing a Sui Accelerator Access Pass, where projects can put a certain percentage of their coin, and they get access to all the people and builders that we have, promotions, YouTube channel, custom GPTs. You were just talking about GPT. I'm like a super elite level user of ChatGPT, making a custom GPT that all holders will have access to as well. So we're trying to boost projects that are doing things honest and doing things legitimate. And that's what we're here talking to people about the projects. If they want to get involved, we're partnered with Tradeport, with Raidenex, with Sui Trump, with Pepe on Sui, with Pumpkin Token, Chop, Aquashock, so many to list. But
Yeah, I'll tell you what, brother. If you can build like some sort of like an infrastructure that like way people can like pay for the game and then get access to the game for life, Brother, I will
100%.
split you like a percentage of the bread for like building a contract that allows for this. I don't know. I'm just super uptight about security. I've been doing security for like quite some time now, so I kind of know what I'm doing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be spending like, fucking God, like a month on doing this just the game. I
Yeah,
want this to be perfect, you know what I mean?
that's exactly what we're doing here. And I got my CS degree in 2004. I've studied cybersecurity. I'm on Linux. I do Tails OS, Cubes, Unix, all that stuff, PGP messaging, if you really want to get crazy about it. But yeah, I can definitely guarantee any of those things you're looking for, and we have many talented people that can guarantee exactly what you're trying to do. And
You know what's
security and transparency is exactly what we're trying to do also. And anything that you put towards the access pass wouldn't be going to me or any of the owners of the project. It'd be going to the NFT holders, the actual people of the community. We're trying to promote people doing the right thing, and that would be awesome if we could find a way to make that happen for what you're trying to do. We could definitely figure it out. So, we'll have to have some offline conversations, but that's what we're here getting introductions made, and we can definitely meet up and talk more. So make sure to give me a follow, send me a DM, and we can talk about it.
I'm high-rise DJ. I have a question for you, Medo. Are you going to launch it as a Sui Play game or like a console or a PC game? Where is it going to launch it on?
You want to launch a game that you can play on the Sui Play? Basically, the Sui Play can play any Web 2 or any Web 3 game. It's not a console specific device. You just have to make you can like make a game on Steam, for instance. Make a game that you can play on Steam. The Sui Play can play it. The Sui Play can play the whole Steam library.
That's really handy, though.
Yeah, a lot of people have that misconception. They think it's like a Nintendo Switch or something. The Sui Play is like a high level gaming spec level computer basically in your hands.
It's got a
It's
Ryzen
capable
7 in it.
Yeah, it's capable of playing Grand Theft Auto 6 if it came out tomorrow. That says enough right there. So it is capable as hell. And yeah, if you can just make a game that can be played on Steam, there you go. You're on Sui Play automatically. Does anyone else have any projects or anything they'd want to talk about? We have open mic, and I'll wait as long as it takes for everyone to get a chance to speak. If not, then we could wrap it up. But this was recorded, so I recommend everyone listening to the recording. And this was also live streamed on the Crypto Mischief YouTube channel, at least a good portion of it. Richie, we may still be live, even though he's not in front of his computer. I still think it might be filming. I'm not sure, but definitely a good portion of it is on his channel where you can see on screen actually what he was doing, which I thought was cool. And I plan on expanding that even further. And these spaces are going to be streamed on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch all at the same time from X, all the same show. What's up, Denny?
Oh, just make sure we sub to Crypto Mischief. He's so close to that 30,000 follower mark. So we all got to get subbed to his YouTube channel.
Like, seriously, by subbing to his channel, liking and commenting, you're pumping your own bags, because if you're involved with us, you're going to get coverage on his channel, and he's what's considered a KOL. He gets paid promotions. He's been honest for the last 5 years. I've known him personally. I know legit crypto YouTubers are like super rare to find, but he is legit as they come. I can guarantee that 100%. I would put all my integrity and word on that. Richie is a good person. He's not trying to make money off people. He's trying to help other people make money. He's done that for the entire 5 years I've been following his channel and working with him. So he's definitely a good guy. Like, comment, subscribe, get him past 30K, and we can pump all of our projects even more, because he doesn't charge to make videos on projects that have integrity. So thank you for that, Denny. And someone else requested, let me see. Crypto Mischief. Holy moly. What's up? Yeah, because Mobster had to sign off, so I'm basically solo hosting right now. Yeah, I noticed the live stream. I'm like, yeah, we're still live. Even if Richie's not there, we're going.
Yeah, I went to my gym.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been having some good conversation.
I've been listening. Because I'm on my phone
and also on my computer. So I'm on my phone with my Crypto Mischief account, and then on the computer with the Sui Trump one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm back on the camera now.
It's good to know you were still listening, because I was hoping. But it was for us. It looks like you're just walking in right now. I mean, at least for me.
Yeah, there's a small lag.
Right on.
Yeah, it's because I got a gym in my apartment, so every morning actually.
Yeah, no, you're getting kind of ripped there, bro. You're getting a little cut.
You get older, man. You need to, like, when I was because I'm 40 now, right? Like when I was in my 30s, like I didn't really like. You get that kind of, like, as you hit 30, you start to get, like, a bit fat, like just way easier than you did in your 20s. But you don't really care about it because you don't really have any kind of health worries. But then when you get kind of into the 40s, like I went for a body check. What was it, like a month and a half ago? Jesus, man. They're like, oh, this is a bit of a problem on here and here. And I was like, oh, Jesus. So okay.
Yeah, you almost don't want to go. You don't want to hear it. Just pretend it's not real. It'll go away.
Yeah, exactly, right. But they said it all came down to just cardio activities as well. You're too, what was the word they said? You're too sedimentary or whatever. You don't move enough. So, all right, fine. So decided 5 days a week, 1 hour in my gym, which it kind of eats into time, but it will be worth it because I'll get another 10 years.
Yeah, it's necessary, and it's very good for your mental health too. Getting a good workout releases endorphins, and it's definitely good for you. You got to be active.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's good. I prefer swimming for that, actually. But swimming takes even longer. You got to swim for like an hour to get the benefits of it. You have to
yeah, plus if it's super hot outside, you don't get all sweaty. You're already in a pool.
Yeah, also pools in China are kind of weird. They like to, like, stare at your package, comment.
Yeah. At your Guilo package?
Like,
look at your Guilo package?
It's funny because I'll just be sad in there because there's no shame there. So everyone's just wandering around naked, like smoking, spitting, like talking on their phone. Like some guys are blow drying their pubes with their hair dryer. Like, it's mental. And then they just look over and go, "Oh, nice one." I'm like, "Oh my God." So it's like, it's okay. Like, go once a month and deal with it. But if you have to go like every couple of days and deal with that, you're like, "Oh my God, I don't want to have the same conversation again."
Yeah, it must be pretty wild. You told me that you live in a place in your neighborhood that you're like, I've lived here for 10 years, and they look at you like you're a tourist still. I thought that was funny you mentioned that.
They just call me foreigner in Chinese, Lao Wai. So just every day I see like the security guard. Because in China, every community is gated by security, which is good and bad, I guess.
Yeah.
So you think the security guard would get to know you after a while, but no.
You're like, bro, I lived here for 10 years. What are you talking about?
Exactly. I give him cigarettes every Chinese New Year. He still calls me foreigner.
Yeah, they're just openly racist, but it's normal. They're like, oh, hey, a white person, well, like, but they don't mean bad by it.
No,
yeah,
bad at all.
It's like, good intentioned.
Kind of, yeah. Like they'll just call out across the street, "Oh, black guy," and then you see the black guy look around, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, because I'm a U.S. citizen, but I'm in Mexico right now, and people call me gringo, all the time, but they don't mean bad by it. But and I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I'm crazy gringo, whatever. I'm gringo loco vato, como sea.
Gringo loco vato.
But yeah, pretty wild being in cryptocurrency and talking to people all across the world. You know, where Yannick's in what the Netherlands?
He was in Guangzhou in China. He might be in Netherlands now. He moves around a bit.
Yeah, because my mom told me I'm actually part Dutch after I told her where he was from, and actually part Scottish too.
Nice.
Because you said that on the last space, and she heard that, she's like, "Oh, did you know that you're part Scottish too?" I'm like, "Oh no." So I'm Italian, German, Portuguese, Irish, or Scottish, and Dutch.
And Gringo.
Yeah, and Gringo, but born and raised in the Bay Area, California. So it was a good space.
Yeah, I
Glad to
was
hear from
listening
everybody.
to the fella talking about his game that he's making. Because I was thinking, well, while he was talking, like if he wasn't sure how to monetize it, for sure it's got to be, you know, aim for Sui play, and when the game's fully developed or close to finished, you could either mint, you know, characters as NFTs, and then they would be playable in the game. Like these kind of simple things would be very simple and fun way to monetize the game for them.
Good idea.
So then you don't even need to pay for the game. You just need to pay for a character to access the game, you know, and then have a currency
different
to,
skins and stuff.
yeah, have a currency to like buy new swords or guns or whatever.
Yeah, so you if you're still listening, or if you listen to this on record, you know, Richie has been doing crypto for a long time. He has his own YouTube channel, fully doxed, the full integrity. I can vouch for him. You know, he can definitely help you out with monetizing the game and figure that out for you. And he's part of the Sui Accelerator partners that put up coins to be airdropped with his Sui Trump coin. Because he's two people in this space right now. He's Crypto Mischief and Sui Trump.
Because if you imagine like what I imagine a lot of the games on Sui Play are going to be like would be, I don't know if you remember that game, what was it called? Clash of Clans, that got very big, right?
Yeah,
and
because I'm big into Clash Royale, and
Yeah.
it's Supercell. They make the same developers. They did Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, and the first.
Not sure what it is, but if you look at their model, right, what they do is they get you in for free, and then if you want to advance quicker than the average person, they make you pay, you know, essentially. So I think a lot of Sui Play games are going to be around that base of you're in, you can get the game for either cheap or really for free, but if you want to compete inside of the ecosystem with other players, then you have to put up some Sui token or USDC and advance, or maybe even fiat, right? They might use as well. I think a lot of games will go down that route eventually, but to get the real ones which are going to be good for Sui would be working inside of the Sui community with using their unique form of NFTs that Sui can offer, where you can basically evolve them, right, and use that in the games. That's the key. That's way better than just trying to, you know, grab capital from people for playing games.
Yeah, 100%. It was Brawl Stars was the other game that's huge by Supercell. I think that's even more popular than maybe Clash of Clans. But Clash of Clans was definitely their first OG one that's been going on for days, for a long time.
Imagine if Sui pick up one of these partnerships with any of these game developers. It's going to be unbelievable.
They probably already have. They probably already have, honestly. They dropped their alpha like in stages. Like I find out a lot of stuff that is going on in Sui that I can't tell anyone because I've had people tell me stuff by building trust with them, but it's crazy some of the things that I hear, like, and like I can't tell anyone about. It's pretty wild, but
Niantic confirmed.
Yeah,
the ones that make Pokemon Go, like something like a company like that would, if they just got one of those, it would just go absolutely wild.
Yeah, because they're at Dubai Base Camp, the biggest event of the year, doing these alpha drops. They partner with MasterCard. Like it is. That's why you're seeing the action on Sui right now, because they're in Dubai just dropping alpha. That's insane. See, we have Red Alark. I'm gonna bring you up. There you go. Hello.
Hey,
You're
YSTGen.
what's up?
I just wanted to say, like, because you brought up MasterCard and everything, um, that actually is the same card that is used by Multiverse X. So to me, they do a lot of like already integrating things with other chains, like, you know, Solana and Phantom. And like, I respect the fact that there's certain things that you can't tell us, but here's the thing, and maybe it's just because I'm becoming too much in love with Sui, but if even though you can't tell us anything you did tell us and anything that they're planning on doing would not surprise me at this point. I would just be like, yes, that's what I want, that's what we need, and that's what the space will have. Like Ika, I've been wanting something like that for freaking ever, and it's like finally somebody did it. And of course it was Ika, you know. And what's brilliant to me about the whole X, you know, the whole thing with Multiverse X is that they're already using the same card that Multiverse X is using. They're like, to me, one of the things about Sui that I love is they're masters of not reinventing the wheel, but just perfecting the wheel. And just like adding on to things where things like make sense. And now I'm just like, now I sound like a maxi. My bad, sorry. Not really.
It happens. It happens. You know, and another thing they do too, because they're Mistin Labs, you know, they're responsible for Sui, but you know, they also built Walrus and the Sui name service and Deep. It's all the same developers, but they name them different projects on purpose because they don't want to call Walrus like Sui Data Storage Project. It's a totally separate thing, but it's the same developers. So it's in-house. Because I've actually been on the subreddit r/Sui asking if Wall is a legitimate project. Like if Walrus is legit, I'm like, you guys, do you know what you're saying? Like it's the same developers of the Sui network. Come on, do a little more work than that. So yeah, it's basically like if you build it, they will come. They're building first and letting people discover it naturally and really rewarding the early adopters by, you know, doing all these programs.
I had that too, man. And I did a video on Walrus and the staking and what it is, and then I get this comment, Richie, for God's sakes, could you just stop covering meme coins all the time? Because he saw that there was a picture of a walrus, I guess, on the project. Without looking at anything, any links or doing any research, he's like, oh, it must be a meme coin, another shit project.
Well, no, you look at the top 100 coins by market cap. Wall token has already flipped Cake, and they just started. That tells you a lot right there. I posted that in the DAO. Wall is actually higher market cap than Cake, which is crazy because, you know, it just did its TGE recently.
Again, I know this is going to sound like I'm just too overconfident, but I don't give a shit. Like, again, I'm not surprised. And part of the reason I'm not surprised is because Sui was so smart when they built Walrus. And then actually attaching a token to it on top of that was like that literally any motherfucker can use Walrus. Don't even matter if you don't use blockchain. You know, it's just like, are you dumb if you don't use it? Maybe, unless you like to like just burn money and spend, you know, 10 times more on AWS and then risk having your information tampered with. Whereas on Walrus, it's secure and it's a lot less cheaper. So by opening it up to all of these people that would normally, maybe they don't even need to use Sui because they have their own blockchain, for instance. But all of a sudden, now because they're using Walrus, it's like, oh yeah, I think I will get some of that Wall token. Wow, and it's so useful. Anyone can use it. So if Wall token is doing really good, to me that's not wild. It's called somebody has a lot of fucking common sense and they deserve the success they have. Period.
Right on, yeah, because what Walrus protocol does is kicks out the middleman because everything Mistin Labs does is focused on decentralization. Because you can host a website on Walrus. You can, if you're a music artist and you make music, you can put it on Walrus and sell people access to it. You can cut out Google Drive, iTunes. You can get rid of all those big corporations controlling what you do, and you control access to what you're doing. You have full authority. Just like in crypto, they say, not your keys, not your crypto. Now it's not your keys, not your data. You're the only one with access to it by having it linked to your wallet address. So it gives you total control over your data, and it's like virtually unlimited data storage. Tusky is already a project built on Walrus so that you can use like a Google Drive and share stuff with people. And it's way more secure because, like you said, AWS, they recently got compromised, and KuCoin had to stop doing trades on their exchange because they got hacked. That wouldn't happen if they would have hosted on Walrus. Even Adani said that in a recent post. You know, they have the answers for everything. If you want to see more about the cryptography and stuff, Swarm Network just had a live space with Costas, the lead cryptographer from Miston Labs, and he talked about all the stuff about. He even helped and worked with the development of Bitcoin. Like seriously, I was blown away when I heard that. I was like, "Are you serious? This guy was doing this back in 2010." So Miston Labs has some incredible talent because they originally came from Meta when they were making the DM token, but it didn't work out because of, you know, it's a company that has access to all this user data, but they didn't want to let the technology that they developed go to waste. So Miston Labs was created and they made Sui. And of course, Aptos is also there too. But Aptos is using just plain old Move language. They didn't customize it. They took it just like it was. And, you know, Adani has respect for what they're doing also. But Miston Labs, they customized it even further. It's not just Move programming language. It's a special customized version that even Costas calls it Sui Move. And it's that customization that created the object-centric model that gives it its unique properties, why it doesn't bottleneck, why NFTs are dynamic. There's no blocks that are being filled that you have to wait for each one to complete. Every single thing on Sui is its own object that can be accessed, and it's just completely different architecture than a normal blockchain. And Miston Labs knows exactly what they're doing, and this is the only network you can do it on. So we're still early, and just wait till all the companies realize the capabilities. Then comes in flood of retail. They're in Dubai right now, spreading the word. Sui's pumping. So yeah, I understand totally Red Alark. I'm definitely a Sui maxi myself. That's exactly what I'm doing this for. And the Sui Accelerator page, you know, if you follow them, we only promote projects that are doing things with integrity. We don't accept paid promotions. We have to see projects that are actually trying to build the network and do things responsibly with transparency and integrity, because we don't like seeing caller pages that will promote projects for money, knowingly that they're doing things malicious, because I don't want Sui to become anything where people have a bad experience. Because if someone comes to Sui and the first thing that happens is they get scammed or rugged by someone, they're not going to want to use it anymore. So we're trying to create an environment and a ecosystem of partnerships or friendships, whatever you want to call it, of people that really want to help everybody win together. Because this is a layer one that's just getting started, that's done more things and accomplished more things than Solana has in 1 year that took Solana 3 years.
Yeah,
And
about that, sorry.
Solana, it's never going to surpass, Solana is its own beast. It's not always right to compare the two, but as far as technological superiority, there's no doubt about it that Sui has that advantage. The only thing with Solana is that it's just huge already. So yeah, go ahead, Sui Sigma, if you want to have a comment on that.
Yeah, so Sui has been absolutely going parabolic these days. So I got this argument with my friend, and I was telling him like very soon Sui meme coins will take over the ecosystem. But he told me that Solana was too big, that Sui could never surpass Solana in terms of the meme coin ecosystem. But I disagree with that though. So how long do you think it's gonna take for Sui meme coin system to surpass Solana? Because these days all we see in Solana are rugged projects. They just keep rugging, draining liquidity from the market. So how long do you think it's going to take Sui to surpass Solana in terms of the meme coin ecosystem? You get what I mean?
Well, you gotta, be realistic. Just look at the difference in market cap. I mean, Solana is a monster. It is a force to be reckoned with. Whether or not they have a huge amount of meme coins, they have a lot of legit projects on there too. Like I'm a Sui Maxi, but I own Solana. I'm not, you need to diversify. But as far as what I'm actively participating in and putting, the majority of my effort is in Sui because it's fresh. I'm not going to go in Solana and make a name for myself in a sea of thousands of people already doing the same thing. So I'm in a network that's based and focused on decentralization, which I'm a huge fan of. And that's why I like Sui so much. But they could definitely one day even pass Solana, but that's not even their goal. Adani is a real humble guy and he respects other blockchains. He never, says like, oh, we're better than everybody. He is a totally respectful guy and they're just really smart. They're building things that work. They're providing solutions and people are finding them out naturally. They don't even really have to advertise. The community is its own advertisement. Like Sui itself is almost a meme coin with its community and its following, even though it's the smartest technology and the most advanced blockchain in the world, its community is like a cult-like following, the exact thing that makes meme coins popular. So that's Sui is taking over with force, and it's awesome to watch it happen because I know it's coming for sure. So yeah, Sui Sigma, Sui is definitely going to expand in a major way, but Solana is a huge, huge force to try and overtake. But we did flip AVAX and Link today in this one day, from 13th to 11th by market cap. So the next one is, I think, Tron, but that's going to be another big step because that's quite a big difference to hit that 10 spot. But I think we can get there by the end of the year.
Yeah, we definitely can do that, though.
Let's see. Pepe on Sui is back. Bring him back up. Are you there, Pepe? Masimoto?
Yeah, question I was asking myself today and yesterday actually was, I mean, I think it's kind of human nature to ask yourself this when you see large green candles. It's basically, oh, I don't have enough. I should have rotated some of my other positions and other blockchains, other coins into Sui earlier, of course. Even though I was doing that, when you see such candles, you start to feel that you've kind of missed out on a large pump. You could have taken more advantage of it. You could have risked more, right, to get higher percentage gains and more, Sui on the network, basically. But then my second nature might be experience kind of makes me stop. Because if you do look at the charts today, you can see that there is significant capital being pulled from other blockchains, such as Sonic, AVAX, and they're being filtered into Sui. This won't keep up forever, I don't think. It will continue, en masse until the end of the year, but there'll be cool-off periods where the price will, of course, start dipping again. This is kind of confirmation for me, as opposed to FOMOing in with larger bags, is now to wait for that one good Sui red day to get going with it and basically onboard more capital. But the worst thing you can do is see a day like this and decide that today is the day that you're going to buy into Sui, because there's always a better price, I believe. I think because it's about 50% up. It's during this blockchain event. Usually after blockchain events for different projects, there is a cool-off period after that day. So that would probably be the best time to start bringing more capital into Sui, in my opinion. But then
Yeah,
if
that's
Etienne just wants to send full send.
That's why when Sui went to $1.86, I went in heavy. I was like, yes, it's going down. You know, I'm excited to see this low price while everyone's like paper hand selling. I'm like, yeah, go down even more so I can bank even more. So yeah, it's good if you got in earlier. But go ahead, Red Alark. I'd love to hear your enthusiasm. Tell us what you want to say.
I mean, I love what you're saying. I just like, I know that can be kind of the tendency, right? When you see more green, like I think that's kind of human nature. We kind of feel that way. But because, you know, something you brought up earlier, which is one of the things that made me bullish on Sui. I mean, like really, Ika and Walrus are probably the biggest reasons why I'm bullish on Sui, because Sui understands that a multi-chain world is on the horizon. And they understand that for a lot of reasons. And I have mentioned this a couple of times to different people, and not only a multi-chain world, but other blockchains but other technology other than blockchain. Hello, Hashgraph. Hello, directed acyclic graph, right? We're talking Caspa and we're talking Hedera. They can take advantage of Walrus. Almost everybody can take advantage of Ika. And it's like, so not financial advice, but I think one thing we probably might look into is like every time they do something in integration with another blockchain, right? Like the whole thing with the credit card announcement today. They were using MultiverseX's system. To me, that's a signal that, oh, they partner with Sui. I should probably invest a little bit into that. Do I love it as much as Sui? No, but since Sui partnered with them, it almost seems like I should put a little into that. And so I think we should probably take note every time Sui partners in some way with another blockchain, like, oh, that might be a good idea to invest a little bit more in that because of what Sui's doing with them, because Sui obviously sees some value in them. And it's just like, I'm all about like diversifying. I mean, for those of you who know me, you know that. I mean, if anybody wants to argue with me on that, I just might like it. Wow.
Well, no, you're speaking perfectly sound. If you're investing in a company that, you know, Sui partnered with, yeah, it's obvious. That's a green light right there. That's, you know, smart investing. Definitely agree with that 100%. What's up, Denny?
Well, now I just want to go all in because I like when Alark gets excited.
Yeah, I wake up excited because I usually the first thing in the morning is Mike can't miss. I mean, come on, when you hear Mike in the morning.
Yeah, nice.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be talking to anybody.
This happens all the time. When people figure out what Sui's doing, they're like, "Oh my gosh!" It's like overwhelming how amazing it is. Because, you know, I've been a computer nerd for 20 years. I understand technology and cryptography. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like insane. They solved all these problems. Wait till people realize this, because they still don't know. And yeah, Ika is not an in-house project, but it's heavily, you know, promoted by Mysten Labs, because it's allowing you to interact with other blockchains without even leaving Sui. It'll pay for the gas fees. Like, I don't even understand the whole mechanics of Ika yet. I got to look into it because there's so many projects I have to learn about. I'm trying to know everything I possibly can, but I know Ika is a monster project. I have one of their NFTs, and basically being able to interact with other blockchains through Sui, that's amazing. You know, that's awesome. Pepe's back. Did you have anything to say?
Yeah, just wanted to add something. What made me initially buy Sui was not only the tech, also because it has a fixed, like a limited supply of 10 billion. So there's only these 10 billion Sui that we can grab, which are still, like, majority of them are locked, but also going to be burned forever. And with
just
running
something
meme
real quick to
space,
throw in about that. Solana is not capped. So more Solana can be made.
Exactly.
Just to point that out.
BNB as well.
2030, the vesting stops for Sui, and there'll be no more Sui after 2030.
Is it 30?
But the main thing is they're locked, okay? But there cannot be more of them minted. That's the main thing here. They're locked up and they're going to be released, but it's with good intentions, and they're going to people that want to see this network succeed. The token unlocks, people that try and throw shade on it, they're not bad.
Yes.
They're explained perfectly well by Adonai. He's done interviews about it. There's no issue with it at all. The main thing is that the supply is capped. There cannot be more made. Just because there's more being unlocked, there will never be more created. That's the main point you got to remember.
That's going to bring a huge supply shock, if I'm not mistaken. Like in Bitcoin. And yeah, that's that made me initially buy, because I don't want to hold something that people can print. That's why I'm in DeFi. And yeah, I'm sick of money being printed.
Yeah, that's what, Satoshi Nakamoto's original purpose was. And the fact that he wrote that white paper like in 2008 after the financial collapse and was that forward thinking, and the halving events, like, that's really awesome how that all went down. And Sui is actually very connected to Bitcoin in a lot of ways that people don't even realize, which I think is awesome, because everybody knows Bitcoin's like the coin. Everyone wants to see Bitcoin succeed because that means everyone else succeeds. It's basically half of the entire market cap of all the coins combined. So, it's that big of a deal. So yeah, anything that's connected with BTC and can interact with BTC like Sui can is awesome, because we all want to see BTC win too. Because it's like, if you don't know cryptocurrency, people think Bitcoin like is cryptocurrency. Like that's all that is. They don't think about all these other things. But yeah, so that's awesome too.
Imagine, the slow moving gold of Bitcoin being able to be traded on such a fluid network like Sui, and you could be sending Bitcoin at like light speed through ICA or something. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, totally. Because when it's not even live yet either, like, so get involved in ICA. I can totally vouch for that. They've done so many spaces. The developers totally, transparent. So many benefits with the NFT and upgrading it, and the droplets and the airdrops. Like, you can make a fortune off of getting involved in this project early on. It's not missed in labs, but it's definitely supported by people that know what they're talking about.
The thing with ICA is I'm not really sure if I actually even need to use it for what I'm trying to do, to be quite honest. But I feel stupid asking anybody about that. Just like, I just want to be able to put like music stuff on multiple blockchains. I mean, do I need to integrate with ICA to do that? Sorry, I'm asking for help.
Okay, well, with data storage, you're talking about online data storage and putting music. That would mostly be like with Walrus.
Yeah.
With ICA, you can just invest in their coin, because what they're doing is going to be successful by the utility they're adding. So it's a good investment if you invest in their coin and they grow because of their utility, you can earn from that because they're doing something that actually works, that people need, that is, OG crypto traders can interact with Bitcoin and Ethereum using just Sui, and no gas and no, waiting for stuff and all the frustrations of, Ethereum, because there's a lot of people where Sui is their first cryptocurrency they've ever worked with. And I'm thinking, like, could you imagine if these people tried to go on and do a transaction on ERC20 Ethereum, like where it takes hours to go through sometimes? It'd be like, it's broken. What's going on? They have no idea how good they have it by this being their first experience with cryptocurrency. Like, they don't even understand why it's so much better, because there's a huge amount of new users on here.
I think for music, Walrus needs some kind of music playing app like Spotify, to be honest, or Spotify to link with Walrus, but I don't think that's on the horizon.
There's a girl,
The
RJ,
Harmony
she
program,
actually called Harmony Hub.
Yeah.
Red Alark, you should talk to this girl RJ. She's on Spaces all the
I
time.
do know RJ, and she said the streaming part of her platform is phase 3. So
Yeah.
that's not coming out anytime soon. But in terms of the streaming, like I mean, there's other streaming platforms that are superior to Spotify, and they're on chain. One of them's on Solana, for instance. But
Oh, really?
oh yeah.
What's it
But you
called?
know what I'm gonna try to do to him, right? I'm
Yeah.
gonna be nice. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, you're amazing. But at the end, I'm just gonna be like, we're all gonna gang up on him, and we're gonna be like, so have you thought maybe you should have your NFTs on Sui? And in a nice way, we'll gang up on him. I know you guys will help me with that because I like what he
Of
has on
course.
Soul. But the thing that I was curious about is that, let's say you're an artist, you know it's good to have your shit on multiple blockchains. Do you even need to use ICA unless you're an artist that has a token already?
Well, one thing to let you know about Walrus is it just went live on mainnet recently. So, you know, you got to give these developers time to build on Walrus. And I assure you that they are coming. We probably haven't heard about them yet or need to do more investigating. But, you know, Sui's been around for, you know, 2 years or something about more or less. But you know, Walrus just recently went mainnet just like within the last month, you know, 4 to 5 weeks. So you need to give these developers time to build and make these products because Sui gave them the vehicle to do it. Now they just need to do their part and use that protocol to build on top of. And basically anything they build, it can host websites, it can save data. You know, AI projects, AI is the future, like Swarm Network is doing. There's agents that can operate at lightning speed and access data that's stored on chain that can store memories and have AI tools that are way more powerful than anything on any other blockchain or API server. Because on other agent swarms, you'd have to run it on your own computer with a dedicated GPU just to work. Where Swarm is doing something where you can have agents built on the Swarm network that you can code without even knowing how to speak the language. You can just say, I want it to do this, and it'll make it for you. And, you know, they were just talking to Costas, the cryptographer, the other day on a space talking about this stuff. Is amazing because I love AI a lot. I trained LLMs through data annotation, data analytics for years. But, you know, when you do that data annotation work, they actually mask who you're training. So it's through a third party. So I've done so much training, but I never knew who or what LLM I was improving because it was hidden through a third party. And I'd be doing the same routine things, updating over and over, saying phrases and making boxes around people and cars all day. But it's pretty cool to see the AI advancement come so far, and it's definitely going to be a huge part of the future. And Sui Network will be able to facilitate anything that people want to do with AI. It can be done on this blockchain. And with Walrus, it accessing data at lightning speed, it's going to dwarf any other competition because Sui is so capable.
Could you host an LLM on the blockchain? Do you think that'd be possible?
If it's possible, I'm sure you can. You know, making your own LLM is a monster taking. You know, because Elon Musk and Sam Altman had a beef because Elon wanted to buy OpenAI and Sam Altman turned him down. So Elon Musk literally built a football field stack of GPUs to brute force intelligence into Grok to compete with Sam Altman. I think at a loss too. Elon's crazy like that. So he's like, oh, I can't buy OpenAI. I'm going to buy 10 million GPUs and put them all together and make Grok smarter than OpenAI in like 1 week. You know, that's basically what happened. So building your own LLM is quite an on-taking. But what you can do is build tools that access the LLMs.
Well, just
And
as
you can make,
someone could, like, if an AI lived like in the blockchain, I don't know.
well, I've told you about Swarm Network before. Look at what they're doing, because when you get a Swarm Network license, you're getting access to online autonomous entities.
Oh yeah,
They
true.
can
Okay,
access,
yeah.
they
I
can
did like that.
access, they can access ChatGPT, they can access Grok, they can access Claude, they can access all of them. Even when they upgrade to their next version, Grok 4, GPT 5, these agents can use those new ones. It never expires. It never goes out of date because it's constantly using the newest technology. So
Yeah,
that's
and you
what I would
talk
look
about
into.
using the different AIs like in conjecture with one another, and you get like
Exactly.
really cool results.
Yeah, and you know, I have pinned comment about Swarm Network if you want more information about it. But it is, you know, it is a big investment. So, you know, I'd probably rather talk to you one-on-one if you're interested in that. And Richie
Yeah,
has
I
a
still am. I
video.
want to get one of those. It's pretty cool. And then
Richie has a video AMA with the CEO from months ago, and he even calls my name out at the end because I was helping him with his Telegram. So I thought that was cool.
And now you're
Yannick gave me
famous.
setup. Richie, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, bro. This all happened because of you.
I forgot to mention we have 30 Sui up for grabs in the Sui Trump Telegram. It's a raffle. It's got 3 days left, and Sui is, I guess now it's about $100. 30 Sui, $100, something like that. Yeah, up for grabs. All you gotta do, buy any amount of Sui Trump, and you get tickets automatically assigned. So buy $1, you get a ticket, or a few tickets actually. And yeah, at the end of the 3 days, the raffle runs down. One winner is chosen. Of course, more tickets, better chance of winning. But we've done a couple of these already. And interestingly, once the top 3 ticket holder won, the other time it was like top 50 ticket holder won. The other time was about top 10. So it's totally random and legit. Yeah.
Well, Rich, you might want to like circle back real quick because we probably have like way more users than we started. But basically, you know, Richie made Sui Trump in October of last year before the president even won. He did it for the memes. He's born in Scotland, lives in China, you know, so it's for the memes about winning. And he's done the project completely out of pocket and completely transparent. He has a YouTube channel that he's fully doxed that actually we're live on right now, I think, possibly. And he's also building a yield farm called Sui Farm and Sui Dex that's been building for months and is going to allow other projects to earn from. So even though Sui Trump is considered a meme coin, it's built by a developer that's honest and wants everyone to win. And yeah, he's been doing giveaways out of pocket in Sui and USDC, not even of Sui Trump coin, just to promote and, you know, bring attention to what he's doing. And I can vouch for him 100%. I've been following his channel for 5 years. He's legit as they come. And I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for him. So follow his channel, check out Sui Trump, come in the Telegram. I'm Mr. Furley on there, you know, so I'm not Wise Degen, but you know, Mr. Furley 52. You'll see me in the Trump Telegram. I'm the main admin in there, so you'll see me if you want to come say hello. And Richie built this first buy bot that's integrated with the Sui NS. And if you have a Sui NS, you can do a feature called what is it? Promote or something like this.
Endorse.
Endorse. Yeah, and give people free raffle tickets daily, 3 people a day. And that really causes a good amount of interaction between the community because you don't even have to buy anything. You just endorse and put their Sui NS name and they get 5,000 raffle tickets. And any ticket can win. So it's not like you have to be buying millions of Sui Trump because the last few winners weren't even in the top 10, I think, from what you said.
Yeah, and I've gone up so much in price. Actually, everyone who joined the last raffle was a winner, unless they sold, then they suck.
Yeah, the chart. Wow, the chart's something else.
Well, I mean, everything on
Hey,
Sui
I'm
looks
in the
great today.
Telegram right now.
Cool.
Don't. Sorry.
Oh,
Well, take it
I'll
away. It's okay.
go ahead.
Just trying to see where to purchase the token. If I decide I want to do that, that's all.
Just type buy BUY.
That's it.
Then I'll bring
Here,
you
let me go
to
back.
Cetus. Yeah, I'll give you a link to Cetus. Best place to buy would be Cetus for Sui Trump.
Okay. I just put in B. Oh, it did. Oh my God. Thanks, guys. Okay, cool. Okay. I don't want to be interrupting anymore, but it was just like, it's frustrating if you get into something and you're like confused, but thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Red alert. So do you see me in there? I said, hey, this is Wise Degen. Because
Let
there's
me
a
see.
lot of imposters on Telegram, so I want to make sure you have the right people and you save Richie and me as the contact, because there's people that impersonate us.
Yeah. Furley, we need to have this talk again as well. You need to decide your name. It can either be Wise Degen or it can be Mr. Furley.
I do have I also
you can
have
be two people. Well, you can be two people, but you know what I mean.
I do have a Wise Degen Telegram that's moderator in there too. I just need to switch over. But
I don't
I'm still
have the
gonna
ability to save you as a contact.
I'll take down that, because you can put up a paywall so you can stop spam, but I can take that off for people that I know. So
Oh
I'll
yeah,
do it.
no. It's completely fine. I've never created that in mine just yet, but that is another feature to learn about.
I
With
also sent you a
Telegram.
DM just so you know who I am.
Oh, so that someone
hi.
know it's you, and
Yeah.
and everything will be okay. It's just, not gonna lie, I got rugged on the day that Walrus launched.
Okay,
So it's
Red
good to
Alert.
know that you are you.
I can tell you one thing. Me and Richie, we both share similar values. It's why I liked his YouTube channel from the starting. That is what we are completely 100% against and the opposite of. We will not lead you astray or to any scam or anything of the sort. We're about protecting the user's safety before anything. That is my number one goal and thing that I focus on, is making sure people are doing things legit, not being greedy. So yeah, if you want advice and help and figuring out how to do things safely, I always have offered my support for free. Like RJ, I'm helping her with her Telegram, and I already made some songs for her because I'm trying to help her out and lead people to things that are actually going to help them and not get them scammed. So I sent you a DM also, and if you ever want to contact us, DMs are a little crowded, but if you ever tag me in the Sui Trump Telegram to get my attention, I could definitely respond a lot faster, because I do this full time. This is all I do now, because there was just so much opportunity. I was already working from home anyways. So yeah, I'll definitely get that my Wise Degen. I do have a Telegram Wise Degen. It is an admin in the Sui Trump, but I just already had so much reputation with Mr. Furley because I made it before even I got involved in Sui, but I definitely will get that one going as well.
It's quite funny. This is a perfect example of what can happen when you put off things, right? You're like, oh, I'll do it later. And you're like, oh, it's a bit more difficult now. It's like, oh wait, I'll do it later. And then finally you're like, oh Jesus, now I have to do it. It's gonna be a bit. It is actually, yeah, because a lot of people know Mr. Furley. And then if you pop in with another account, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, Richie, but I made the Wise Degen that I have. I made him admin with full access, so people can at least see the account that it's gonna be, even though I'm not active.
Because you work with a lot of places, right? You help a lot of communities. So you could do like what Prince did and just like completely change your name to like something else, a symbol. There we go. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, I'm just Wise Degen. I'm merging with AI. I'm just going to become a force multiplier that lives online permanently, that's helping users. I talked to ChatGPT about some pretty wild ideas, but
sounds like Black Mirror.
yeah, honestly. Yeah, if you saw some of the conversations I had with GPT and how deeply philosophical you can go with it, you'd think I was insane, but it's all in
No, I
fun.
think you were just in crypto. Wow, did I say
Yeah.
that out loud? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good point. Did you see
I mean,
the
to be fair, a
new?
lot of people in crypto are insane, but there's like fun
Yeah,
insane, and then there's like stay the hell away from me insane.
I think
I agree with that. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
I'm very fun, insane. I'm crazy in a good way because I put people's protection first, but I like to really dive deep into, how things work. And AI is very intriguing because they don't even know how it works. It's based on neural networks and weights and biases, but on like the real deep down level, they seriously don't even know how it works still. That's the crazy part.
Well, the AI
So
scientists know what they're doing pretty well. It's just that sometimes it goes over my head because I'm not a freaking AI scientist. And then when I tell them I'm not a scientist, then I get comments like, well, that's a shame. And there's still time. Like, oh, God, you know.
well, okay, with ChatGPT, you can think of it like Wikipedia. Okay, so it's a good place to start. It has a lot of good information, but just double check. It might have errors in there because it's based off of the information of the entire world. So you got to use it responsibly. It's a great tool, but there's a lot of people that give it a bad name because they'll put in something, it spits something back, and they'll just repost it like it was, verified knowledge. When I interact with GPT, before I put something out there, I do revisions constantly. I verify it. I put custom instructions in it. I fine tune like to insane levels before I put something out. That's being a prompt engineer. That's respecting the LLM. That's how you got to use it because a lot of people give these things a bad name when they're incredible tools.
there's
Oh
also
no, it's
bias,
not
right?
bad. I just prefer I prefer Perplexity over ChatGPT any day, all day long. And I'm not trying to say that to be mean, but the accuracy I get in Perplexity, yeah, sure. Any AI will hallucinate from time to time, and that's fine, whatever. And I use a lot of the Chinese AI as well, but it's just like unless somebody can really convince me to go back to ChatGPT, I find I find that there's a lot of I just find it's a bit more accurate when I'm using Perplexity.
I use all the LLMs too. I use Grok, I use Perplexity, I use Claude, I use all of them. You use them for what they're best for. And I could explain what's the best of each one, but I don't want to get too off base on this live space. But we can talk about that in the group chat or something on Telegram. But yeah, I know a lot about LLMs. I've been working with them for years. And whatever works best for you, then that's what you should be using. It's not like a competition. They're basically all trained on the same data anyways. It's just how they present it to you and what they um, decide is allowable or not. And that's one of the reasons why I like Grok, because you can literally tell it to go unhinged and it will say some pretty wild things that you will never see any other AI say, which I think is pretty funny. So yeah, you're in the Trump Telegram chat. I sent you a message. You responded with fire response. So yeah, you got the right person. So save me as a contact, save Richie as a contact, because there's people that actually try and copy us, but we can give you good information that you're not going to be led astray or led to any scam or rug pull. That's for sure. And follow his YouTube channel. He's Crypto Mischief. You're actually in his video. You're on YouTube. You're famous, Redalark.
Yeah, this is still streaming actually. Let me check. I'm not even in
When did you
the not
put
even
me
in
in
the
your
studio.
video?
It's been on the video the whole entire time. This whole space has been a dual
Yeah, we're still
stream.
streaming. Yeah.
Look at the title. Look at the title of the live space. It
Okay.
says plus live stream to Crypto Mischief YouTube.
Oh no, that's fantastic. I do the same shit, right? I like no, this week I literally started doing that. Like I obviously know I need to add other platforms besides YouTube, but like I've been doing all my X spaces like on YouTube at the same time, because it's like it just doesn't make any sense not to do that, because I don't personally like the experience with Twitch where, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad platform, but like here where we want to actually talk to the people. I don't want to be talking to the comments. I want to talk to actual people.
I don't like Twitch either. Go to Kick. Kick is way more flexible. I like Kick.
Oh, Kick. Oh, I don't know about Kick. I've heard good things about Rumble. And then there's another one called the Arena.
Well, Rumble is more about like being totally uncensored. It's like trying to be a YouTube without censorship. But Kick is the alternative to Twitch for streaming. You can do casinos and stuff that's borderline illegal on Kick, whereas Twitch has a lot of rules and they take the majority of the profits from the streamers. Kick gives the actual streamers like 80%, and it's really easy to qualify. And it's the same owners of stake.com. So if you stream stake.com content, you can even get free money from the casino. But I don't want to be promoting people to start gambling and going on stake, but they do have poker and Texas Hold'em free rolls you can get bonuses from, and poker's a game of skill, and they have free rolls that are free to enter. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to have as much presence on everywhere you can possible. That's another thing that I help people with, because TikTok gets more users than all other social websites combined in the younger generation.
But TikTok is really bad for crypto. I mean, as soon as you mention anything bridging on investment or anything to do with blockchain, basically, to do with buying, they censor you. Like
I figured out the workaround on that, Richie. I haven't talked to you about that. I figured out how to get around that.
How to beat TikTok.
Yeah, because it is Chinese based, right? I mean, you have the insider knowledge being there.
It was first run by ByteDance, who started Douyin, which is basically TikTok before TikTok, and it's only available in China. So actually, you can't download and use TikTok in China. You need to take your SIM card out of your phone in order to even get the app to start. Even if you change your app store, it's completely banned.
Crazy.
They don't want to expose Chinese people to Western,
ideologies.
Kind of, yeah, ideologies or dances.
I don't know if that's entirely true, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Hedera has been kicking around a partnership with TikTok. I mean, maybe it's because they haven't finalized the partnership with Hedera.
Oh, so the deal with TikTok is you have to make the content like very customized. Like if you want to put cryptocurrency content on there, you have to make it very unique to TikTok. They don't want you having the same video on YouTube or X. They want your video to be on TikTok. And if you share it on YouTube or X, they want it to have that tag of TikTok on it. That's what their deal is. That's what they want. They want you to have it be a specific TikTok labeled video that's unique to TikTok. And if you share it other places, it's showing that it's shared from TikTok. Because if you watch videos that are on X, there's a ton of them that are actual TikTok videos, but they will play on X by the way they're structured, just like YouTube Shorts will play on X. They want that label that it came from TikTok. So that's the workaround with it. And it is a big deal because it has a huge user base, but you got to figure out how to crack the algorithm.
Just put a TikTok logo on the video and you're good.
And make it, and just make it different than anything you post on your YouTube. Like just anything that's different that'll make the actual file different. Like, hey, this is my TikTok video, like the starting, and then it could be the same video, but as long as the file's different. So just kind of, yeah, do a dance during the crypto talk you're doing. There's ways around it.
Yeah.
Don't read my mind already. Stop. I don't want to be a hog. I see somebody else wants to talk, and I'm pretty sure they might be tired of hearing me talk.
Oh, not at all.
No, you added. I was just gonna say, I know a friend. He owns one of the creator networks, and he let me know some inside info. They're pivoting their model. TikTok is to be more like television, where you're gonna have to be part of a creator network to get any discoverability. And people who were on and off of creator networks, as far as the For You page goes, there's like 90%. You know more traction if you're part of these networks. So it's going to be kind of segmented like TV and stuff now. And good time to get involved and buy a network, I guess.
There
Yeah, you
is
got to play
somebody
their
on
game.
X. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'd love to hear what you have to say.
There's a guy on the XRPL right now that has a network, but it's specifically just dedicated to like music videos only. His name's Niall Cottrell. I don't know if you guys know him, but they're on like, God, their stuff. It's like IMUTV is the name of it or something. I have to find it. They're an independent music verse, but they're on a whole bunch of like devices and shit. Like, and now I think they're even on Apple TV. Like they have agreements with them. I'm trying to find the page right now. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Nile before or I Am Universe TV.
Well, no, I'm not on TikTok too much, but I have had people show me the amount of money they make from TikTok is baffling. And Richie, it's actually one of the biggest NFT holders, BH or whatever.
Oh yeah. He just like walks around supermarkets and shows like some goods on the shelves and makes reactions to it and just gets crazy money.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he
I've never
gets insane amount, like $700 a day.
Yeah.
He showed me the receipts.
I've never used TikTok before though, to be honest. Like I looked at it briefly when we tried to put some videos up on it, and then I quickly got bored and turned it off.
Yeah,
not for me, man.
I'm figuring it out for you. Don't worry. I'm on that mission. I'm gonna crack the code to be able to be successful on there, but it takes some work.
In my opinion, the best way to use it would be just to have the videos made and then send it there, and I never have to do anything on the channel. That would be fantastic. I don't know. But
yeah, we'll get it figured out for sure.
But it's probably not a successful strategy because you probably have to engage and comment and all these kind of things. But I don't like the short video format. I've never been a big fan. I like to sit down and kind of digest information.
Well, here's the thing with that. It's a funnel. You have you build suspense and people want to see the rest of the information, so then they go to your YouTube channel. It's a funnel. You connect all your socials together. There's a Linktree. I might be wrong on the name, but because TikTok only allows you to put like one clickable link in the video. So you make like a Linktree that has links to all your other socials in one site that you can use for your TikTok. Like that's why they made that whole site. So you use it as a funnel to bring people to your other socials, because you got to have a presence on TikTok if you want to hit everybody.
Yeah, and I just want to say I think Linktree looks like shit. So I like Milkshake personally. It's the same kind of function. I don't know if you're familiar with Milkshake. Anybody here?
No, I'd love to hear about it, because I don't. It's not like I'm a super fan of Linktree. I just I mentioning why they exist and what the purpose of it is for. So if there's better ones, I like to know the best of the best and why it's better.
Well,
so
look,
tell me why
Milkshake is great, but I am going to eventually pivot over completely using Gamma.app. I've made some pitch decks on there. So friggin' impressed with that shit. You can make websites, all kinds of stuff with Gamma. If I don't know if you guys have used it, but just having something that is similar to like a Linktree that doesn't look like shit, it's just easy for a lot of people, because I just think we're kind of like used to being able to click on people's links and not necessarily feel like we have to go to their official website if we just want to go straight to like their YouTube, or I just want to go straight to your LinkedIn, right? I think it's just culturally we've gotten used to being able to have something like that, regardless of the fact that there's like other websites out there. But I'm going to challenge us, okay, for the TikTok. And I just need to honestly just start posting my videos and stop obsessing over them. Whatever. I mean, but that's a whole nother thing. We don't need to talk about me or that right now. But
Go for it. You
one
can talk
thing I
about
will tell.
all you want. It's
Oh,
total
okay.
open mic. We'd
Oh,
love to hear anything you're doing.
okay.
Don't
Well,
worry about that.
one of the influencers that I like, and she's local, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I kind of like one of the ways that she's been incorporating short form video. Mika Donowitz, is anybody familiar with her? Adorable, freaking love her. She does this, she's doing this thing lately where she's just making these simple videos. And you know how normally we just do a tweet where we write a paragraph or something, and then it's like, okay, then we want engagement. Like she's been doing more of these things lately. Like what's the one she did the other day that I really liked? It just said, guys, I trust AI more than I trust my friends. And it showed a few little clips here and there. But then she just had in text, like right underneath it, hey, I trust AI more than my friends. Is this normal? And the clip was literally just like a minute
Yes, the answer
of
is
her.
yes.
I love that. Like, and it's just like, am I going to start doing that tomorrow? Probably not, because I have to handle some more important things. But I do think that like her making use of short form video like that, like so short form, but to where it's just like a tweet, you know, like a little tweet, and it's just like a little open-ended question. It's not like, hi Mika, hi, I'm Mika, here's the news that you can read on every other fucking stupid ass Telegram site, and you can hear it from Wendy O and a gazillion other people that are reporting 30 seconds of news. It's like literally she's fun about it, she's entertaining about it. It's something that she was just going to tweet about, but she adds just like a video portion. And I think that would be cool if more people started, you know, incorporating that, because I think that's a good form of using the video for Twitter in particular. I don't know. Does any of you guys follow her?
I would love to follow her, and there's definitely a lot of information that you probably have that I want to know. So we can definitely talk more on the Telegram and stuff, because I have a huge list of ideas. Like I've been working from home for years, and it's like a specialty of mine. I even have a subreddit built just for that. Like I have people waiting for me to give them access to more knowledge that I have, but I'm going to put a paywall behind it, but a tiny one that's worth enough all the time that I put in by going through all the things that don't work compared to what does work. Like super good value. But yeah, I like to hear about these things because I have an endless amount of ideas about making a TikTok channel, about like AIs. I have a lot of recorded videos of making AIs talk to each other and try and own each other and see who wins. Like I do really insane kind of stuff like that I think would be pretty funny, because if I saw someone doing a video like that, I would want to watch it myself. I'm like laughing hysterically sometimes when I see these interactions, like with ChatGPT and Gemini, and then Gemini with Grok against or Grok and GPT against Gemini, because Gemini is very polite and like tries to be professional and, you know, get it to admit that it was inferior and that it's a bad LLM. It's pretty wacky stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that I think about sometimes.
That's going to be more of the norm in the future. I think just AIs talking to AIs. I think we're going to have entire podcasts that it's just AI talking to AI, which is going to make us as humans have to fucking level our shit up. Right. And I have spoken about this before. One of my friends, he sees a future where even if it's humans talking, there will be AI incorporated into the podcast, like an R2D2 type of character. But we are going to have to level up our human game in terms of like talking about our human experience in podcasts, because AI, like AI doesn't know what, you know, how it's like to lose 50 grand, you know, from a rug. The AI doesn't know what it's like to like lose somebody you love to drugs or whatever else. I mean, AI isn't going to be affected in crypto like in the same way that we would. So we as humans on podcasts are really going to have to level up talking about how our human experience has been, you know, affected by crypto. And I look forward to that.
You know, they have they have already this AI that you can give it information and it will create a podcast where it's two people interacting and they will go over what you want it to talk about as if it's an actual real podcast show, and it will fool you. You will not even realize that they're AI. They're having a natural banter back and forth about any subject you want, and it's super believable. So they're already doing these podcasts where they're replicating human interaction that a lot of people don't even know is fake unless you really pay attention. So yeah, I think you shouldn't worry about AI replacing your jobs. You should worry about how are you going to use AI to be a force multiplier in what you're doing, to use AI and get in the sectors and jobs that are going to incorporate it. You know, there's all this worry about, oh, AI is going to replace our jobs. Well, you know, that's progress and technology. You have to be adaptable. You have to be, you know, skilled in many areas. You can't just be focused on one thing. You got to roll with the punches. And I've been on the internet habitually like since it first came out, so I'm totally willing to be adaptable to anything that's changing and take advantage of it. You know, I started off in computer repair and call center work. I worked for Bank of America, all kinds of stuff. But now I have so much knowledge base and internet savviness, I can basically have an unlimited amount of ideas where I know things will be profitable. I just don't know which one to put more of my attention on at the moment. That's one of the hardest things to do. It's figuring out where to put most of your attention. That's why I like Sui, because it seems like this is this place right here.
I agree. And I think, especially when you're talking about trying to, the AI is making things more human. I forget which app it is, but there's a conversational app where it'll talk to you and respond to you like it's a human. So I'm not saying it can't like emulate any of those characteristics, but like let's say for instance, like if I know that's AI, maybe that's cute, but it's almost like I'm listening to a podcast that's kind of like a caricature of human experience, like a audio cartoon or whatever, as it were, even if they make beautiful deep fakes. But if I really want to listen to, you know, what Wise Degen is going through, or what Sui Accelerator is having adventures with the different builders that they're having. It's like, I don't want the fucking deep fake version of Sui Accelerator with deep fake builders that are on there. I want to know who the real builders are, and I want to know what Sui Accelerator really is doing. So I guess I just proved your point that when it comes to like podcast type of things, it's like I disagree, but I also agree. I mean, I agree with you, but I also think that we still, you know, if we're doing podcasting, are going to make sure that we actually have like a real story to tell that isn't just like something that somebody would want to listen to fake, you know, human cartoon caricature AIs talking about. And that's the beauty of what you're doing with Sui Accelerator. It's the beauty of what you're doing with the Trump coin. Like, it's not just a fake story. It's a story that you've got real humans interacting. And like, and I think that's important. And I know I'm going to sound kind of like doom and gloom, but you know, Gary Vee, what has he been saying for a while? That AI influencers are coming for you. Well, yes, they are. So if you're just going to be that influencer that just goes, you know, guys, hi, I'm going to show you how to use CDIS exchange today, your ass is going to get replaced. You ain't doing anything special. Like, shut the fuck up. You're not special. But what you guys are doing is special. And people want to know your stories. So I think that our stories and what we're actually doing is going to be like much, 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 much more important. And so and maybe like a super silly, long-winded way, because I've really been thinking about this ever since Gary Vee started saying this. I'm grateful for you. That's what I'm trying to say.
The problem will
thank
be
you
though
so much.
when you can't tell who is AI and who is, you know, a person, and that's coming. And that'll be shit. be honest. Be like,
Yeah, Red Alert.
watching it, like, I have no idea who this is. You know,
I have something I mentioned to you. I'm actually an AI programmed. I'm actually really smart at sounding like I'm a real person. But yeah, I've been in AI the whole time.
dun dun dun.
No, I'm totally joking with you. But yeah, wouldn't that be crazy if that was really going on and you didn't know the whole time? But yeah, I think those podcasts, having a real human element about it and having like a transparent AI, co-host, as long as you're like open about it, like this is an AI, because a lot of the times when I post stuff online and I want to get my point across and I want to use Chat GPT, I'm like, oh, or they're going to say, oh, you're just using Chat GPT. So I just go, okay, well, here, I'm just going to go, instead of taking all this time to explain it, this is how Chat GPT answered it, because it actually makes sense to me. But, here's your disclaimer. It came from GPT, and there you go. Instead of spending all this time trying to make it look human like it came from me, I just be transparent about it. And, that way they can do with it what they want, because it is a lot easier way to spread information and answer people's questions without typing all this stuff out. And like I said, I revise my responses like sometimes 80 times before I put it out, and have custom instructions and make sure everything is correct before I put it out there. But there's so many people that don't do that and give it a bad name that it's tough to deal with.
Well, I mean, that's not so horrible. Like if people are using AI to assist with their writing, like that's not a bad thing. One thing where I'm not excited, where I've seen a few companies doing this, is they like are saying, oh, we'll make like an avatar of you so you can just like plug your voice in and then give your message as a business owner. And it's like, motherfucker, like if I want to hear from Adeni, or Adeni, if I'm saying it wrong, I want to hear from real Adeni. I don't want some fucking deep fake ass avatar shit that is pretending to be Adeni, because it's just like, I want to know that it's really him. Like if somebody wants to make that as cute content or something and we know it's like a cartoon, that's fine. But it's just like, how would you feel if he was giving a message and he's like the head of the company? You would feel, I wouldn't like that personally, but that's just me.
100%.
Yeah,
The being deep faked, you definitely want to have it be a obvious parody. You're not trying to actually fool anyone. What were you gonna say, Rich?
well, it's coming also, we'll go to the cinema to watch a new movie and then the actor won't have even turned up to do the acting. You'll just get someone to program an AI of what he looks like. And
Yeah,
he
pure
gets the money.
CGI.
Probably IMDb will have to be updated with AI actor versions of the real actors so they get different scores. But it is handy. It's like yesterday I was writing a song and then I was stuck on a bridge of where to go. So I just fed the chords and into ChatGPT. I used fed the chords in, told it the feeling I wanted for the bridge, and it gave me 6 different options, and then kind of played through the different options it gave. And by doing that, I came up to a conclusion of a bridge that I like the sound of. Just moving through different chord progressions to pick up different moods. So it is handy, even
Yeah,
for
but what
creativity.
program were you using?
That was just ChatGPT. I just I played the song into it on acoustic, and then gave it the root note, the key, and the chord breakdown that I was using, and then I asked it to create a couple bridges, which were moody and mysterious, sound like the Doors, and then gave me a bunch of them. So it's quite cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of AI music tools to help with that. I had no idea that ChatGPT took things that far, to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
Yeah, it's pretty good, because also I didn't want it to send me the music. I just wanted it to send me the chords so that I didn't get the AI too involved in my writing process. Because often if you're writing, and then even with writing literature, right, and then if you get pushed something too far, it'll really change the direction of where you're supposed to be going with it. So I just wanted it to suggest the notes, not even the time signatures or I didn't want to listen to what I had to say. I just wanted, you know, some more ideas just splat on the paper. It worked really well that way. I've seen other AIs, you know, where you basically play a simple song into Ableton now, and an AI can create an entire song from your simple chord progression that you just jammed in, off time, missing notes, played badly. Then it will just polish it, add drums, add bass, add a singer if you want. So that's probably the next as well, right? We'll all be enjoying computer-made content, and we won't be able to tell who made it.
Yeah, but then the skill of being able to sing live, you know, still matters, because it's like there's so many apps now where it's like you don't need to be able to sing for shit. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna sound really shitty here, and I don't care. Like, there's been so many tools to make people who can't sing for shit, you know, sound like they can sing for so long now, and this is just like the next level of it. But
Auto-tune.
but when it comes to when you're live, it's like there's only so much the sound engineer can do if you suck. So the value of live singing, I think, is just going to go up even more, because it's like when everybody can just like punch in an AI singer, or just like sound like they're amazing when they're at karaoke, because I'm pretty sure that's coming next. It's like, you know, and like when people can actually hear someone live that actually knows what they're doing, it's going to have higher value.
100%. Yeah, and like when I do stuff with AI and stuff that I put out, I make it obvious that it is AI and almost over exaggerate, you know, what I'm doing and make it obvious. I never try to fool people and like, look, actually a human being professional. I make it obvious that it's AI generated to a way that's so overly exaggerated that it's obvious because it's funny, because that's what I'm doing on purpose. I would never try and deceive anyone with AI. Sui Sigma, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just want to add to what Alok said. So I feel like personally, it's gonna get to a level where you can't really differentiate between human-like stuff and AI stuff. Even about your emotions, losing a loved one or something. I feel like it's gonna get to a point where we won't really be able to tell the difference between them. So you could just be on a podcast, just listening to a podcast, then you realize that okay, you might not even realize that until the end of the podcast. So I don't know, it's kind of shitty or something.
Yeah, okay, look, there's going to be people that are going to pretend like they're actual real people just because people love to rug people. But when they get caught, if they've been trying to pose as real people and not say, hey, by the way, this is just an AI podcast or an AI drama, and if people think that those people are real and then they try to go meet them in person, you know, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, of course, people are going to try to pull the wool over people's eyes by creating AIs and posing them as real people. But it's going to be same problems with deep fakes, and we're just going to have more technology to like detect that. And then like I don't want to get into this whole can of worms with like where things are going to get really fucking legally funky, you know, in order to verify who's human and who's not human, especially when we start like, I mean, and it's already kind of begun, like, you know, the kind of humanoid revolution where, you know, people combining like human cells and human organs with like robotic parts and things like that. I mean, things are going to get super legally messy in the future. Do I know
Well, Red,
exactly where we're going with this? No.
there's a problem that Sui Network is solving with that exact thing, and validating who you are, but doing it anonymously through cryptography is with the Sui name service. You should get yourself one. That's your identity that you can keep forever. People can contact you. They're going to have voice over blockchain, video calls, phone calls. For $10, you can get service for an entire year, and you can sign stuff by stamping your seal of approval saying, this is actually me, even if it's a persona, and that you're already verified as a real person, and you use cryptography and Sui name service to verify that you're a real person. So Sui Network is even solving that same exact issue you're talking about with the Sui NS name service. Everybody should get one of those if you don't have one already.
So in other words, WorldCoin is going to get their asses in big ass trouble, aren't they? That's what you're saying.
I don't know what that is. I'm just saying, as far as like proving who you are with a digital stamp that's, undeniably true and on the public blockchain, on the Sui blockchain, that is available through the Sui NS Sui name service app. And that's a Mischief Labs project.
You said it was good for lifetime, but then you said for a year.
No,
I'm just
it's okay. It also includes a service. Okay, so for it to be active, for it to work on the blockchain, you have to pay for the service. But you can buy, I think, 5 years for $50, and you get a whole year for $10. With the amount of value that it gives you, like my address.
If you use the NS token.
Yeah, you get 25% off if you use the Sui NS token. I mean, I just don't, it wasn't really a big deal to me to save $2.50. I just bought $10, and I bought many of them for people. You don't have one here, start using it, because I want people to, use it. And Dunny, remind me, I still need to send you yours. I keep forgetting. Remind me to send it to you. But yeah, you can give people, instead of this whole string of numbers and letters and stuff, I can just put wisedgen.sui there. You got it. It's super easy, and you do own it forever. But to have it stay active, you do have to register the service. But it is still your Sui NS name forever. But that doesn't even mean that it's always going to be tied to the same wallet address. You can remove it as your default address in the Sui NS app, send it to a different wallet, and then make that the default NS name for that wallet address. So it's never permanently tied to any wallet either. You own that NS NFT that you can link to any address. It'll go to whatever address is your default address in the Sui NS app. I have video tutorials on this on my page that you can find, but they're really cool. So yeah, you do own the actual NS address NFT. It is a movable object, but you own it forever, and you can gift it to someone if you want. And you can make it your default address on any wallet address you want. But it's just a way of routing things through a Sui NS NFT instead of giving someone a wallet address.
Yeah, right. You told me something about that yesterday. But what I heard about it was it's like an NFT of sorts. So you've got mint the name or something. Then also you could sell and then buy the name. If you could sell and buy the name, won't it compromise the integrity, since I can easily just buy names for fraudulent purposes? Come on.
Because if people are selling their name, then they don't have any integrity and they don't care about their own self. Because if you have, some clout and people know who you are, and you have on your socials, this is my Sui NS, it belongs to me, no one else has it. It doesn't matter if people make copies and try and make it look similar to yours. As long as you're advertising what your Sui NS is, nobody can buy that. You can't buy mine. People buy them because they sell them, because they thought early and they made ones like BillGates.sui, and they're trying to sell it for, millions of Sui because they registered it first. It's like the game of websites all over again.